Well, good evening. Welcome to VP4TV. We're here for Friday night 9 ball, which the good news is we're back with a full house. I'll just get my mic cable out of the way. We're back with a full house. There is a new, well, I say a new player, a name I've never seen in the tournament, a name that goes by Travis 7181. We've got Charlie Bravo, Chimpy, Coldest Pillow, DJ Redo, Keezer, Kim Sung Min, Christian, Larry, LS3, One Pocket Slim, P Miko. I don't remember seeing that one either. I just hope these players are actually here and get into the tournament. They don't sign up and then don't know what they're doing. Simanx, Spectre Dawn, Stefan, Travelling TT and Travis. So the bracket will be up. What time is it? About 2 or 3 minutes to go. Welcome everybody. We've got Larry and Christian at the top of the bracket. Larry in his usual place, pretty much at the top of the bracket, week in, week out. We've Stefan and Coldest Pillow, LS3 and Spectre Dawn. Well, unless something else crops up, that's the match we're going to be watching right at the start. We've got Keezer against Kim Sung Min. I'm guaranteeing that at least 2 of these players don't show up. Chimpy against Charlie Bravo, DJ Redo against Travelling TT, One Pocket Slim against P Miko, and Simanx against Travis. So the news is, Hugh, can you pay tribute to SGT? I can't because I'm not using XSplit Gamecaster. It takes too long to set all that back up since my PC went tits up. I do have all the files on my PC, though they were actually saved, but it takes an awful long time to go through and set up all the stuff again, and I can't be bothered. What was I talking about there? I've lost my train of thought now. Welcome to Coldest Pillow. Oh yeah, well, Slim ran Albinario close in the hot seat match. If you didn't get to see it, it is on Slim's channel. It wasn't good news for Slim, but Slim had his chance. He had Albinario on the rack, and Albinario took it all the way, and of course Albinario was breaking in the final rack and ran out 11-10 winner. So One Pocket Slim now plays Cobra in the semi-final. That will be Sunday evening British Summer Time, 1800 hours, and I will be there for it. And that is only a race to 9, so it won't last that long, I don't think. I just think the matches should have been longer. Last of Us game, is that not one of these zombie type games where it's survival and you run into a whole bunch of zombies? I think these rooms are going to be up in about a second or two. Anyway, we're broadcasting still on YouTube, and the chat still isn't coming through onto the Kick channel, but it does appear all on my on-screen chat, so that's all that matters, so everybody can read that chat there. And surprisingly, everybody so far is on Kick. Nobody's on Twitch, nobody's on YouTube, or if they are, they're keeping quiet about it. So let's have a look for these strange name players. What did I say one of them was? P Miko. I think Slim's go. Oh no, there's P Miko there. Well, that's one of them. Where's the other one? I thought I saw him earlier on. No, no, did I say Twitch? I meant YouTube. YouTube. I don't know why I said Twitch. Yeah, Spectre's on YouTube. Good evening to Spectre. What was the other guy's name right at the bottom of the bracket? Because he was there earlier on, I noticed, but I don't see him now. But P Miko's there. Yeah, the other guy has strangely disappeared. What was his name again? What did I say his name was? Not Stefan, cold as pillow. Blah 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 blah. Why can't I see his name now? Travis, that's the one. We'll be in that room in a second. Oh, there he is. He's in the room. Well, I'm surprised. Both players are here and both players are in their matches. Well, they should be. In fact, it's the other guys that aren't here. Is that Keyser guy in? Well, won't worry about that. They'll take care of themselves, those matches. Let's get in. Oh, just in time. We've got LS3 on the right hand side, Spectre Dawn on the left, and LS3's getting the last two. So hopefully the audio is coming through loud and clear. Again, the delay on kick is really quick. It's been no different since day one when I started using it. Most impressed. So LS3 wins the lag, race to 7. It's Moneyball handicapping. Again, last two won't make a great deal of difference in this match. But I think LS3, having won the lag, has come up fatally dry here. That 3 ball has got plenty of room past the 5. So Spectre Dawn doesn't need to get into a dodgy position on this 3. He needs to get reasonably straight on it, though, which he can do off that too. I mean, this angle in the 2 is perfect for going to the rail and just coming back out in a reasonably straight line on this 3 ball, and of course he can get back for that 4. He could go forward. Might need to check the ball up a bit. Doesn't want it to run into the 5. I think he's going to try and hold it. Yeah, he's managed to hold it. So this is not going to be a good start for LS3. Won the lag, but you can't come up dry, especially when the table then is left wide open, because you know that the inevitable is going to happen. Yeah, I mean, I said this a couple last week or the week before, I can't remember, but a few people have read on, I think it was support or something for this kick, and they were talking about the chat on the app not functioning great. So again, you know, these apps are brand new, so there's going to be bugs and stuff, and eventually there'll be fixes for them. Well, he's just got to get a hold of the cue ball here and watch that side pocket if he's going to cut across. Oh no, he's content to leave it at distance, at safe distance, not risking running the cue ball. But these are always a wee bit testy. There you go, I told you. They're never a gimme, those at that angle. And Spectre Dawn's now paying the price for not trying to get good on it now. LS3 has to take full advantage of this. I think the bank looks easier than the cut. Watch the cue ball here, LS3. Because if this is going to be plain ball to make the cut, you've got to watch that cue ball. And there it goes, almost scratched. Commentator's eye again. It was taking a dodgy line, but got away with it. And Spectre Dawn gets punished for not really being brave enough, a player of his standard, to try and get better on that last 9 ball there. And this time LS3 has a ball. The 5 ball's gone. Now this is just a gentle. Is that the 1 ball or is that the 9 ball in the rail? It is, so it's just a little gentle roll in on this 1 ball. I think this is slightly the wrong angle you would want in this to. Look at my buttons, I get the wrong buttons here. Got to watch that 8 ball here and got to get right into the cue ball. I don't think going forward's a great idea. You've got to watch that 8 ball, whatever way you go about it. And she's digging in now. That's well done. Got good hold of the cue ball. And if this 3 ball goes in, I'm expecting LS3 to be 2-0 up here. There's no reason why she shouldn't. Good evening to Travelling TT. Now once again, the choice is to nursemaid this 4 ball into the pocket or to cut it in and come across, maybe bump the 7 or get into the gap. So she just dropped it in soft, nice angle in the 6. Because there's nothing then to do with the cue ball. All you do is pot the 6 and let the cue ball with the right pace just come up high on this 7. You don't want to be square on it. Now this is again just tricky that you get into this cue ball a bit too much and drop into that side pocket. Now you see what I mean? You've got to see these things. So LS3 taking full advantage, having got off the hook in that first rack there with Spectre Dawn not fulfilling the deal and getting out. So it's now turned into a good start for LS3. I think she's dry again though. Dry, but nothing, I mean, I suppose he could go for the bank. The cue ball will be somewhere up the top end of the table. It's going to take a chunk of the 4 ball if he does that. Oh, trying to run for cover. Well, the 4 ball and the 1 ball aren't a dead set combo. And again, you know, if LS3 is going to go with this, it could be all or nothing in this shot, because if this 1 ball is left on somewhere and she doesn't get the 4, Spectre Dawn should run out. Oh, she's got lucky. I mean, the 1 will still cut, but it's a bit like that 9 ball. Sort of similar angle, but at the other end of the table. And Spectre Dawn's missed it again. And LS3, I think, is hooked, so he's got away with it this time. Now it's an easy hit, and this 1 ball might stay there if she actually gets it full in the face and maybe gets the cue ball off the rail and back up table. Will she try to roll dead weight? And that's the wrong side. Wrong side. But I think LS3's now got a little lucky roll there. Oh, that's not great though. That is not great from Spectre Dawn. And where that 3 ball sitting is absolutely perfect to just hold the cue ball or bounce through to the short rail in the bottom here and come back up for that 4. There's loads of room to get to that 4 if you get high enough. Watch the cue ball. Too much juice. That was a poor control there from LS3. Touched like a sledgehammer. Now needs to get the cover. Oh, cue ball. Well, it's left enough room for the jump. Good evening to Cobra. Well, now it's in Spectre Dawn's hands because the 3 and 4 ball are exactly the same position. So if he can get the jump, well, he's going to be way inside this 3. And this is, well, I don't know whether it's worthwhile trying to do anything with the cue ball other than maybe cut this and spin into the 6 and bump the 4 towards the pocket. It's really thin, in fact. Yeah, I think that's what he's trying to do, but it hasn't worked out. Didn't get the right contact. Good evening to Jose. And the cue ball didn't get to the rail, and neither did the 4 ball. So this is a real bonus here for LS3. Got to take full advantage of this with these careless mistakes here from Spectre Dawn. I think he's half asleep here. He needs to shake himself down quick. And again, LS3's just getting a bit too much juice into that cue ball. That was heading dangerously towards that top corner pocket. And I think she's not got a great angle in this 5. This 5 got too much angle here. Yeah, got to avoid the 8 and just make sure you get right back up the table here to have any sort of sight in the 6. Don't try and do anything other than that. Well, she's now digging in. Got to get the... again, you didn't need to dig in, you only needed to stun it in. If you stun it in, the cue ball's going to the short rail and back up. You didn't have to draw it in. Again, you've got to see these shots. I'm surprised LS3 is so gullible there to play something with so much bottom on it when all you had to do was stun it in and let the cue ball do its thing. Oh dear, what's Spectre Dawn up to here? I think he's okay this time, but you know, LS3's the one that's going to pay the price here. Because that was really poor. And not the quality I would expect. She's been hitting shots a bit too heavy, and then that shot there all it needed was a stun, just slightly below the equator, hit it nice and firm, and let that cue ball come off the rail and back up the table into play. You don't have to screw off the object ball, because when you get into it too much like that, that's what happens. You end up in a pocket. Big fail there from LS3. And of course now, Spectre Dawn's found his feet. Couple of balls in the break. He's got a little dink. Or is that the 9 ball now? I thought the one ball's gone in the break, so now it's a dodgy 2. And this time, got the nudge in the 9, but he's still got full cover on that 2 ball. And this is the old hit and hope routine here. LS3 should be sitting 3-0 in front here. I don't know how, I mean, you couldn't emphasise it enough when you're playing somebody like Spectre Dawn. Anybody in that calibre, you have to be taking opportunities and you can't be wasting them and throwing them away. Well, this match should be all square in about a minute and a half's time. Well, it's not a case of learning the hard way. I mean, LS3 is a good enough player and should have enough understanding to know that she didn't have to draw that ball into the pocket. All she had to do was stun it. And the cue ball's going to go the right direction, go nowhere near a pocket for a start. And that's let Spectre Dawn right back into this when he could be 3-zip. And a sloppy start as well from Spectre Dawn. But he's been let off the hook. And that's what you cannot afford to do. Because he's just going to now take full advantage of it. Well, if she's had a bad day, it's only going to get worse if she's doing stuff like that. Now, Inspector Dawn gets this break working. It could be doom and gloomy here. And the 4 ball and the 2 ball trailing after one another. But there is no shot. Well, he certainly doesn't want to play below this 1 ball as a push out. Well, he's left it square. Because if you play below the 1, LS3 is going to have a go at the 1-9 combo. I think the cutback bank is definitely on. I think she's got to go for it. I think there's enough room there past that 7. And if you stun this in with a bit of spin, you can get the cue ball around the table for that 3 ball into the corner pocket as we look. If you're going the other way though, and that 3 ball's just going to hold that 1 ball there, doing this. Oh, the 3 balls a combo. Well, that'll do it. I don't know whether she played that. I'll give her the benefit of the doubt. And this time, got to do the right thing. You know, just drop the 1 ball in. Plenty of room to avoid that 8 ball. Just pot this with a tiny tad of left if you're coming down into the gap between the 7 and 8. There's too much angle to come down the right side, I think. I don't think you want to be juicing this up with loads of right spin. She get into it too much with the check. Just a tiny tad of left there. But that'll do. I mean, it's still a shot. Not as tidy as it should be. But just at the end of the day, got to get to these last 2. That's all that matters. And this is simple enough. Little holding shot off the 7. A soft and gentle draw you can do. Well, she's defended her lead. Got it back to 1 in front. And she's had 2 dry breaks so far tonight. And this time has got a ball, but no shot. But once again, you can certainly get enough of the 1 ball to maybe use the 8 as a stopper. I don't know that she's playing the combo, but she's just going to try and get some cover. It needs to keep rolling. That'll do it. And now there's no jumping over that. And once again, the table is sitting very nice here. Inspector Dawn doesn't get this safe. He's got the hit, and he's got it safe pretty much. Might even have a snooker, I think. He'll settle for that. Well, I'd be juicing this up and giving it the cut, because that 1 ball is off the rail. I think you just got to give it a blast. And if you get lucky, that cue ball could come back over where the 4 ball is, somewhere along that direction. Got to go for it. Didn't quite get the line. I don't think, nothing against having a go at that. The way the table's sitting, it was either LS3 running out or Inspector Dawn looking as if he's going to run out. Well, there's a result through straight away. Larry's running hot tonight. First one into round 2. He's taking Christian out 7 racks to 1. Well, this should just be plain for I'll say that again. It should be plain and straightforward here for Spectre Dawn. Again, little stop shot. Stop with the right angle though, and he's got enough angle there. That's fine. And he's probably going to do the same thing again here. Just leave this longer cut in the 8. Well, he's managed to get a hold of it. That's better. Couple of rails around the corner here are straight off the short rail just to get up high enough. And we're back all square. So rack number 7. The ball has gone in. 2 balls have gone in. And this rack is over. Perfect in the 1 ball. Probably going to leave the long 4 ball into this bottom right hand corner. But wants to have some sort of angle on this 4 ball. Doesn't want it to be bolt straight, because you want to be able to get good on the 6 ball. And well, this is a stun in if you're just coming across for the 6 into the side. Now that's the sort of shot that LS3 should have played earlier on, when she was 2-0 up. Something like that stun. But she's now finding herself behind for the first time in a match. Hugh, say purple burglar alarm. Right, now you can explain why, Larry. Say purple burglar alarm. Some Scots have a hard time saying that phrase. Purple burglar alarm. Right. Spectre Dawn's break has given him the 4 ball. A little push through. Oh, he's not going to get to a rail again, is he? Oh, he's got there. Well, LS3 should be giving this a hit. You never know. Might get lucky. Kick it in. That 7 ball I don't think is sitting too good. Well, that one may still go. Yeah, it's got the legs. But that's the least of our troubles. Let's have a look. That 7 ball isn't going, but of course it does go into the side if you can get there. But that's going to be difficult to do where the 6 ball's sitting. So LS3 should already have studied that complication up the top of the table and trying to work out a way that she's going to get there on that 7 ball. Now, obviously, the 5 ball is a shot to leave the little angle to get the bump. Now, that'll do. Again, just letting the cue ball leak away too far here. Now, what you don't want to do is somehow end up behind a 9 ball here. Got to get a hold of the cue ball. She's got loads of top in this at the moment. I'm sure she's going to jack up and dig in here. Yeah. And she's got away with that as well. But she's let the cue ball run away like 3-4 feet too far there and left it at big distance. You know, if you're going to be a contender, you've got to get better cue ball control. Now there's just an edge, but you've got to, if you get this too thin, you're going to bump the 7. And if you get it too thick, you're going to bring it into play. Now you're relying on the 9 ball. And that'll do. So that's Steve been away for over a week now, isn't it? Did you leave last Friday? Can't remember. So he's probably another, I don't know. I don't remember when he said he was going to be back. Slim's through as well into round 2. He's beaten P. Miko. 7 racks to 3. And again LS3 has let the cue ball run loose again, and now it's awkward. Another result. Chimpy's taken out Charlie Bravo. 7 racks to 4. LS3's just struggling with this cue ball. Maybe she's been mucking about with her mouse, I don't know. Is that when he said he was going to be back? Now what's she done here? No, she's okay. Well, he'll be back after my birthday, so he will. What's today's date? Is this the 11th? It's a week. In fact, next Friday night, 9 ball's my birthday. I just realised that. Next Friday is August the 18th. So it'll be Friday night, birthday 9 ball. Well, LS3 has squared the match, but again, she's came up dry. Now she should be in trouble here, unless Spectre Dawn fancies doing something crazy. He's had a look at the 9 ball. Yeah, well, that'll do. That's crazy enough. That was a good shot. So that's a quick rack, and that's the ultimate punishment when you come up dry like that. So 5-4 in front. I think this is going to be the last match in this first round here, the way we're going. We might be going all the way here. 8 balls gone in. I don't know that 1 ball banks past the 2. Oh, it does. But Spectre Dawn's running for cover. Oh, now this is going to be a test of our control here. This is wafer thin, and avoid the 4 ball at all costs. As thin as you dare on this 1 ball. Now, how does that look? Well, that's not bad. I mean, he's not going to do anything with this, but he might. Well, I thought he was maybe going to try and kill that a bit more and try and left English and maybe just check it and try and kill it behind the 7. But that will do. Well, that's well, Simanx has won. I don't know what the score is there because I can't see it. It might be 7-1 against Travis, and Kiza has beaten Kim Sung Min by the same score, I think. So I think this is the last match. Good shot there. quick look. Oh no, DJ Redo and Travelling TT are still playing. So these are the... In fact, there's actually Stefan and Coldest Pillow still playing as well. They're 5 apiece. Well, Spectre Dawn is leaving these awkward. Well, that's the main problem out the way, but Spectre Dawn has got himself in trouble here again. He's left it short also on the 5, and these are tricky. Into a blind pocket, so easy to catch that knuckle on the short rail. In fact, he's actually caught the long rail, and he's probably got away with it. Well, I would just chicken right out here and just drop top onto that 5 ball. Because if you're going to try and get distance here, you've got to get this really soft. And that's pretty good. I'd settle for that. Full length of the table. Always tricky to get the right hit on this 5 ball. Now the bank is on. This is right on the middle diamond, and the bank up the table is definitely on. Good evening to Mr. Deanster. And that's short from Spectre Dawn. That's like the snooker safety that you see nowadays, where the player just bumps the ball to the long rail on the either left or right side and puts the cue ball over the other side. But Spectre Dawn's left that short. And again, LS3 needs to take the advantage here. Bound to have some sort of shot in the 6. Watch the cue ball. Oh, it needs to slow up though. Well, this is one of these wee fiddly ones as well. You've got to get, first of all, you've got to get the pace in the cue ball to get that 6 ball moving. And so it's difficult to judge the pace that you're going to have on the cue ball to come back for this 7. This is not quite as simple as it looks. Now, well, I think that's pretty good, although it's not frozen to the rail. But if you just catch that 7 ball and bump it to the rail before you get the cut, it ain't going in. But that's well done. So once again, Spectre Dawn's made the poor positional shot, made the mistake, and LS3 still in it. He could have been on the hill there, but we're 5 apiece. And the Stefan Coldest Pillow match is over. Somebody won 7-5, but again I can't read for my little logo in the centre of my screen. But we'll see that in the bracket in a minute. Meanwhile, LS3's broke off. She's going to have to play the combo here. The 3 ball has gone. And that 1 and 6 is pretty much dead. Although, where's the 1 go? Well, she's held the cue ball well. Now once again, a little gentle bump. Now the shot in the 2 balls, the important one. Now, do you just roll forward a tad and leave the more awkward cut in the 4, or do you try and just dink it past the 5? I think dinking it back past the 5 is the simplest shot. She's again, you see she's getting into it too much. Just getting into the cue ball too much. Now that was because there was too much bopping the cue ball there. You need to play that with just the tiny quarter tip below the equator and hit it firm, and you'll get the cue ball to come back to here rather than coming back to there. Well, it's beginning to look like LS3's been playing far too many other games rather than playing 9-ball, and this is what ends up happening now. We've seen about 2 or 3 shots like that, not just from LS3 but also from Spectre Dawn, where he's just getting into that awkward cut angle on these balls, and not one of them's gone in, I don't think. But LS3's got away with it. I don't think that banks. I need a lot of convincing it does, because I think the 4-ball's too close to the rail. And I think nice and thin, push it along the rail and get as far away as you can. Oh, he's bumped it out though. Now here we go again. That 4-ball is tight to attempt to bank past the 8. And it's a big bedhead cut if you're trying that. Now you need cover behind the 5 and 7, and that is well done. And that could be a rack winner right there. Not a difficult hit in the 4-ball. Oh, this is going to be set up here. Is it going to be straight though? Yeah, it's gone awkward. It's gone awkward. Let's have a look. It's one of them. I mean, if you try and spin across and come out here, you've got a narrow window to get in without getting hooked behind that 8. But you've got to make sure you go far enough, because if you chicken out, you end up hooked behind the 9. So you've got to find that little window. And rather than do that, she's managed to hold the cue ball for the cut again. Now, looking at the angle on the 5, you've got to be on the 7. There's no way you can't be on the 7 here. DJ Redo has taken out Travelling TT 7 racks to 3, and Coldest Pillow has taken out Stefan 7-5. I think that is the score. Now what the hell happened here? That was just another, I'm too busy read the scores there, that was just another off angle cut there, and LS3's missed the 5. And again, can consider herself fortunate she didn't leave anything easy there for Spectre Dawn. Well now, this is the type of shot that Spectre Dawn can very often pull out the hat. Certainly isn't easy. And the cue ball will be coming around the corner and back down this end of the table. Now it was tricky. Is he going to get second best here? Yes, he is. Or the runner-up prize. He's got the hook. Well, mostly hooked. I think there's a very thin sliver of that 5-ball showing. This might work. This might work. Oh, no, it might not. Enough of the 5-ball showing now. That was again just take another ounce off that, and that would have been a decent safety. Well, again, this is at distance, and it's so easy just to pop this 7-ball slightly offline, and it holds in the pocket and the jaws. You watched any of the hot tub channels, Slim? Good God. I was watching one earlier on in the week, I think it was, and this girl, she was in her bikini, and she's got about 4 or 5 dogs running about the house, and she was chatting to her viewers, and basically the discussion was about getting rid of her veins, or what she called titty veins. My God, I'll tell you, by the end of watching that, my eyes were popping out my head. This girl was well stacked, that's all I'm saying. It was an education. Oh, I'll tell you, she had some body on her. And the worst thing about it is she knew she did. That's why she was parading about the house in a very scantily clad bikini, which didn't leave an awful lot to imagination. Well, is this match ever going to resolve itself? It might now, because a clean shot in the one. Well, it's so easy to hold the cue ball, just get it out past the 8. Now again, Spectrodon's get into it, but he's far better doing that than under hitting it this time. No, I was fully clothed. Well, the match should be over now. Got to leave the angle on that 4 ball just to bump the 4 in and come back high enough for the 7. Seems fairly elementary. Well, you just got to... you don't think you need to check this at all here, just let it run. Got to get high enough though. Well, he's there. I'd much rather be I'd much rather be there. But he should never miss this. Right. There is an angle. Stun across for the 9 into this corner. Again. Get into it too much and that's heading straight to the jaw or dropping into that pocket. So, eventually Spectrodon gets over the line, but it was actually not that impressive from both of the players, but for both their sakes, I hope they warm up. So that, I think, takes care of the first round. Let's have a look. No, well, we have, that's the match that's going to update in a second. So we've now got all the first round matches in. We've got Larry up against Stefan in round 2. Stefan's got the lead there. We've got Spectrodon through to play Kiza. We've got Chimpy playing DJ Redo, and One Pocket Slim is playing Simanx. So I think that we'll jump into this Larry Stefan match. So Stefan, player 2, is getting a 7 ball, and that's all he's getting. It's not 7 and out, it's the 7 ball only, which is pretty good for Stefan, because he's good enough to get to the 7 ball. And this is, well, you'd be doing an awful lot here if you cut this into the side and try to avoid the 7. Well, that'll work though. That will work. Took a risk there. But with Larry not having got the cover on that first ball, Stefan's got a great chance here to open up a gap. Now he doesn't want to hook himself behind the 8. Commentator's eye. Oh, I'll tell you. He's dicing with death there, but he's still good. Now can he get onto this 7? He looks as if he's coming down the short side of the 7. He's going forward with a bit. Oh, he's hit that like a sledgehammer again. There was no great control over that shot. That was a slam bang, and it wasn't really controlled. Same applies to Stefan. When you're getting chances like that, you can't get nervy and start banging balls. You've got to play it controlled, because Larry should be all over this like a rash to square the match here. Right now, who's get to Fook? Is that you, Tam, or is that Polament? Who is it? Reveal yourself. Well, Larry could have played that better, because this is not great. But that's better. This is where the lower rated players, they don't take a proper assessment of the situation. The position that Stefan was in there was great for winning that rack, and then he just has a bang at a ball with no great control in the cue ball, sort of hoping that he was going to get on that. It was at the 7 ball, and then he ended up getting square on it anyway, so he wasn't good in the 7. Good evening to Semi-Pro. Well, Get to Fook's gone all silent since I asked him who it was in VP4. And Larry's had a ball in the break. The 3 ball has gone. And I think he has enough angle in the 2 to stun up the table here. Yeah. 5 ball goes past the 6. Should be coming off that 7 ball below the 8 to roll the 8 into the side, or maybe take it long into the bottom left hand corner. But that 9 ball looks fairly tight in the rail, so you want to be good on it. And that's frozen, that 9 ball. So he really wants to be taking this 8 ball into the side. He's probably going to end up I don't know whether he's probably going to take it long into the bottom corner now, where he is in the 7 ball. But really wants to be lying on the rail here for this 9. And Slim marches on against Simanx. We've just got to get this flush. And Larry squares the match. 3 apiece. Ball's gone in the break. He's got a thin cut in the 1. Around the angles and out for the 2 into the same pocket. And he should be in the lead. Good afternoon, good evening to Bill. Do you have OnlyFans page? What's that? You're talking about stuff I've never heard of. Now Larry could bump the 8 out the way here. He could just jab into this and bump the 8. And still hold for the 4. He's avoided the 8. I don't have a hot tub, and I ain't going down that route. Well, I think that Stefan's realising the full punishment for the error of his ways in that rack that he should have won. OnlyFans pages where you kinda sell yourself and get people who watch you pay you money. Aye, well that's the type of thing that they're doing on this kick. Those girls in their bikinis. So Larry's now got, well, he's got himself in front from 3-1 behind. Ball in the break. In fact, 2 balls have gone. The 1 and the 8 have gone. He's good on the 2. And his problem is immediate here, because he's at best he's going to have a bank in the 4 unless he gets good in the 3, and that isn't good in the 3. Well, I had mentioned to Steve about doing an 8-ball bar table league, and he thought, right, that's probably what we're going to do. But if you look at my YouTube channel, I put a vote up under the community thing on my YouTube channel, and nobody voted for 8-ball bar. I forgot about that. But I think because we've just had the 8-ball, well, we're still playing the 8-ball bar table world champ, I don't think it'd be a bad idea having the 8-ball bar table, just like they have in the States. There's loads of bar table leagues in the States. Run Out Rob will tell you that. And Larry's pulling away here. And that's why the punishment is severe. When you're in with a great chance of stretching your lead and you throw it away with a half-hearted attempt at blasting a pot in and hoping you get good on the next ball, that never works in any form of billiards or pool. You've got to try and play the right shot, and a controlled shot, and Stefan never done that. Well, Larry's came up dry. Stefan with a push out, and well, Larry could try and duck behind the 6 here, although he's going to push the 1 open, and if he doesn't get the cover, he's going to leave the 1 in past the 5, so he might come up with something different. And well, it's not great. In fact, he's not hit a rail, which is a disaster. So here's a perfect example here now. Stefan, ball in hand for the 1-9 combo. So big mistake from Larry. I'll have a quick cough. Six ball goes in. And can he see the 1? Yes, he can. Now, this is where you've got to control the cue ball back over to this side, and he hasn't hit it. He hasn't hit it. Again, that should have been another 10 inches over towards the rail here for that 2 ball. And that's what happens. You don't get good on it, you don't get comfortable, and you've thrown away another chance. So immediately the mistake was made there by just not getting good on the 2 ball. And Kim Soon Min has done a runner. LS3 has won that match by forfeit. Probably, I don't know, I think that, does that guy not play caroms and stuff like that? 3 cushion billiards? I'm not sure that he's aware it's a double elimination tournament. And with a name like that, I'm not sure what country he's from or whether he would speak English. And he's probably left the building. Meanwhile, Larry's going to try and put Stefan to bed here, get himself to the hill. How's the angle? He's absolutely bolt straight. He can cheat the pocket slightly with loads of top and right and try and go forward and around the angles. He's managed to do it. And that's perfect angle on the 7. Now again, the golden rule here is get high enough, and you know, up here will do. You don't want to check it out. You've got to get up here. And that will do. Oh, I think LS3's there for the taking. Scrappy first match there with Spectre Dawn, and she's not. She's lost her control of the cue ball. And P. Miko has beaten Travis, the two unknown players that I've seen tonight in the tournament. Miko goes through in the final rack there. Meanwhile, Larry's on the hill. And I'm sure he got a ball there as well. What did he get? 3 ball has gone. He's on the 1. Little dink draw back here. Well, he's done it the safe route. He's overhit it, so it's coming to the short reel and out. Now, does the 4 go in past the 6? Of course it does. Loads of room. And got to go through far enough in this 5 ball. You actually want to be just inside the 5 ball so that you're cutting it into the top corner. See, he's gone the other way. Now it's a wee bit more tricky, because if he had gone this way, if he'd gone to there, he's fine. Now he's just having to hold the cue ball and play the 6 long. Oh, good evening to Blind Hog. I wondered what the smell was. Oh, that's good, because now on there's a bug on Kick, because Kick is showing 0 viewers. Let me just tab. Well, let me just see if Larry can get himself on the 8. He should. Yeah, I'm just going to tab to do a refresh. Hang on a sec, because I'm showing 0 viewers on Kick. Ah, that's better. I'm now showing 14. So Larry is home and dry here, but this is another match where Stefan's had chances, but just not been good enough. So there we go. Now Larry was 3-1 down, and Stefan only got another rack after that. So Larry's through. So results have been flying in. Larry's now through, waiting on the winner of Spectre Dawn and Keyser. And Spectre Dawn looks as if he's going to take care of business in that match. Keyser's getting the 5 ball. But Spectre Dawn's already 3-0 up in that match. We've got Chimpy against DJ Reno. Let's jump into that, because that looks quite close. And we've got a dead set 5-9 combo here that Chimpy's just about to knock in to square the match. A scratch match. Oh no, what am I talking about? Player 2's getting a 5 ball. I'm just looking at the ratings here, and I thought DJ Reno was in 2205. Where is the booby channel? Just tab to hot tubs. If you go to browse and go and find the hot tubs one, that's the one you want to go to. Purely for educational purposes, of course. Well, it's big bedhead cut time in the 2. and no guarantee this is going to be anywhere near good in the 4-ball, because the cue ball's heading up towards traffic here. In fact, he wasn't even risking the cut. Now needs to get cover, but he hasn't. So this is just through onto the short rail, back up the table. Well, he didn't get a hold of the cue ball there. I mean, he should have checked that up a bit. Surprised he didn't do that, because then you're holding the cue ball in a straighter line to go up towards the 9-ball rather than leaking away to the right side. But he's managed to get there. Well, just forward. The yawning started already. What time's that? It's just gone 8 o'clock. That's never a good sign. I need another drink. Yeah, I've been looking at a fair bit of this AI stuff that's online. There's quite a lot of stuff on YouTube about it, and I was trying a couple of different programs. There's a program. These are obviously things that are online that you can do a trial, and then they want money off you if you want to register and all that. But there was this one which is actually, and this is the amazing thing about this AI. AI in loads of different formats. The one I tested was the art one, where you can describe, you write a sentence, you describe a scene, and there's the combo in the 9, you describe a scene. So I wrote, what did I write? I wrote, in fact that's the match over there, I didn't realise that, 7-5 to Chimpy. I wrote out a mountain scene with snow-capped mountains, Scots pine trees, single-track road, mist and fog in the valleys, and whatever it was, and then I just hit enter, and then like a minute later, there was a picture that the AI had done for you by just typing in text, typing in a description. Obviously, if I had better English, could have typed in better detail, and the AI understands far better grammar than what I type, but it still come up with a beautiful looking hilly scene with snow on the tops of the mountains, pine trees round about, and mist in the valleys. So you'd mist going sort of halfway up some of the mountains, and you could see the bottom bit, and you could see the top bit. It's amazing. Incredible what this stuff does. Right, so Chimpy goes through into round 3. Larry still waiting on a result there, but it looks as if it's going to be over fairly quickly here. Spectre Dawn 5-0 up against Keezer. Chimpy and One Pocket Slim about to go at it. LS3 is now going to be playing DJ Rudy on that one-loss side. P. Miko is playing Stefan on the one. Let's go in and watch this, because I don't know where's this guy from. If we can get in the room, that is. What is he? He's an 1860 player. I don't know whether he's played a lot online. Where's he from? According to this, it's Hungary, and he's getting the 7-ball. And Stefan has nailed himself to the 8. Is he getting the rail? He hasn't got the rail. And there's a gift and a half for P. Miko now. Presumably he knows he's got ball in hand. Yes, he does. And he's playing with the house cue. And Spectre Dawn has gone through. Keezer's had enough. He's done a runner. 5-0 down, and he's forfeited to Spectre Dawn. Well, I didn't say anything about him to upset him, because I was never in the room. Oh, I tell you, I mean, the AI thing about making music as well, it's crazy. So it is. Well, the mistake from Stefan, and he's 2-0 down. And of course, with Miko not having a break cue or anything like that, he's not going to get much into the rack. So Stefan under pressure here. And what's he got here? He's got the little combo. Now, just got to dink the 2 in, come out. See, again, that's just sloppy. Careless and sloppy. You know, he's just not thinking about what he's doing, so he is. I mean, that's just numptiness. This is a guy that's played virtual pool for years, and he's doing daft stuff. All he had to do was dink that in. Touch like a sledgehammer, some of these people. And he's got away with it. Well, he's certainly not focusing, because anybody that's thinking about what they're doing doesn't do daft stuff like that. I keep saying it, I've said it 100 times. Think about what you're doing. See the shot, and then play it. But there's no thought or control over that shot either. You know, better players have that under control most of the time, because they're working on autopilot. Well, Miko this time gets the hit, but gets the scratch as well. So Stefan's been handed a gift here to get off the mark. Well, this is not going to be great either, because he's got to get on to this 7. A blind cut into the side. Watch the cue ball though. Cue ball's fine. And apart from the fact he's pretty dead straight in the 8 ball, I don't know that he wants to leave this in an awkward cut. Now that needs to keep going. And it's another one of these slightly testy ones. Well, he'll be relieved he's off the mark for a start. One ball into the side. No shot though. Hook behind the 9. Well, I would just bank this up and down the table. Now, does Miko know that you can pass this back? I think he got a double kiss there. Well, this is going to be difficult. Whatever Stefan decides, obviously the 2 cuts into the side. Once again, he's got away with it. I wish players wouldn't apologise. All this business is sorry. I'm pretty certain Miko won't be. Oh, he's at it as well. I spoke too soon. Never apologise. Oh, Oh, hang on, I thought that was going to get a kiss off the cue ball and onto the 7 and in. Well, there's nothing difficult about running this table. He's got to just drop the 4 in and then drop that 5 into the side. This one straight through and up high enough in the 9. Don't chicken out. You've got all the room in the world to get on the 9 ball. Mind you, he's getting. I mean, that is really crap. I mean, that is crap. There's no other way of describing it. And deserves that to happen. I mean, you've got all the room to come up the table onto that 9, and Stefan needs a good kick in the arse. I'm glad I don't have him in Discord, because I'd be ripping into him right now. He's a far better player than this garbage that he's doing. I mean, I say it as I see it, and if I see crap, I'll call it crap. And that was just so damn poor for a player with all the time that he's had in VP to be playing stuff like that. Well, maybe he's in a hurry to get out of here. Maybe he's going out for the night. I don't know, but he's certainly playing like he's going out for the night. And here we go again. Miko's giving him a chance with ball in hand here. 2 ball squeezes past the 4. Nothing to do other than get on the 2 ball good enough. And yes, he's all over the place here. He's not got a clue. He's playing like a first-rate numpty. Look at this. This is awful. Now he's fluking balls as well, and now he's hooked himself. You know something? This is that bad. I want to leave the room. That's how bad it is. Well, I get grumpy when I see players who have got absolutely no excuse for playing like that. No excuse at all. Well, that's, you know, that was never a guarantee he was going to get good in the 3. And he still might get out of this. That's the thing. He still might get out. Well, he won't if Miko keeps doing stuff like that, because there's a 7 ball going in. Game, set and match. See you later. Well, early to bed for Stefan. I'm glad that's over, because that was awful. Right. We've got Chimpy 1-0 up against Slim. We've got Larry 1-0 up against Spectre Dawn. So I'm going to leave it up to you guys. What room do you want me to go in? I'll go by the majority vote here. Right, Coldest Pillow's called Larry. And if nobody else types something quick, we're going straight into Larry's room. Any more votes? I'll give you 5 seconds to get a vote in. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Well, that's what the... Right, that's 2. We'll go in there. And Larry's about to go 2-0 up. And Larry's getting the last 2, so all he needs is a 6 and 7. 2 ball right side, bumping the 1 ball. Oh, this could be quick. Larry will be going for the 1-9 every day of the week here. I would expect him to. He's looking at other options, or he's just trying to line it up. I might as well give it a smack. And it goes. Suddenly it's 3-0. No, let's get that right. Stefan is a player who's been around VP4 for a long time. He knows what he's doing, but in that match, he had no clue what he was doing. That sums that up. That sums that performance. Well, Larry needs to make hay while the sun shines here, because he's good on the 2 ball. Nice angle to bump the rail, come down onto this 3, but he's double checking the 4, because the 4 does go past the 6. So he's going to come up this rail here for that 4 ball. Let's have a look. He just needs to get it up onto the rail, up by the side pocket, just where the donut is. I'll give Larry 9 out of 10 for that, because that's perfect. And DJ Redo has taken out LS3. Well, LS3 was doomed to fail tonight as well, because she was pretty poor. And that always means that you're not going to last long in the tournament. Loads of left English just to kill it onto the rail and straighten the cue ball up, stop it running into the 6. Well, it's all plain sailing here at the moment for Larry. And it's 4-0. And the 9 ball goes in the break. It'll come back up. Larry's got no shot in the 1 though. Although he's going to well, I was going to say he's going to line up the combo. I didn't think the 9 was going to spot. But I wonder what would have happened here if the 9 would the 9 stayed down if the 1 was on that spot. Oh, Larry's got a touch like a sledgehammer as well. Because, well, he's left enough for this 1 to cut, I think. Into the side, I think there's enough on that 1 to cut into the side. I don't think Spectre Dawn's going for it though. Well, he didn't want to hit the 6. Well, this is where you go all out to get a hold in this cue ball, because you do want to just jack up slightly, dig in, stun the 1 in, and don't scratch the left side pocket and get yourself on that 2 ball. So he should be just jacking up slightly here, just to hold the cue ball. Oh, he's getting into it too much. He's getting into it far too much. Again, the cue ball, jack up, but too low in the cue ball there, Larry. Yep, too low in the cue ball. It had to be the stun draw, and that's just juiced it up and left it awkward. Well, we've seen about 3 or 4 of these missed tonight, these cutbacks. No guarantee he'll have any shot in the 3. He'll take that though. He's had a roll of the ball there. I don't know whether he's going to push through onto the 9 here. He may well do, but he should be fine in the 4. And wide open table for a 5-0 lead, because Larry only needs to get to those last 2. and in this case it'll be from that 7 ball back down table here for the 8, so he needs to get half decent on this 7 ball. So this is, I presume, just a bump and out for the 6 into the side, but he's got to go low enough in this 6 ball if he's going to do that. And he's actually gone way too low. I think he wanted to take that into the side. And now he's going to finish on the short side of the 7 behind the 9 here. This is tricky. And he's got there. That was a much better shot. Much better. Now same again. It's a stun with enough pace to get the cue ball running. And he's got it running. Is it running? Okay. Yep, perfect. Well, this is a dream run here for Larry. 5-0 up. Balls in the break. Cue ball's gone though. And that is now the gauntlet handed over to Spectre Dawn. Can he take advantage of this and get off the mark and then get his break working? And this is a bit of a tight space to be working in here. He's trying to bump the 4, I think. No. Well, I mean, again, I don't know whether he should have probably bumped to 4, because this is ugly as well, where he's sat. Well, we're seeing some substandard stuff here from Spectre Dawn tonight. I mean, look at where he's ended up. This is where you end up when you don't know what you're doing. You end up going to places like this. I don't know why he didn't bump the 4. When you bump the 4 out the way, you're on the 3 ball. He's making life awkward for himself, but he's probably going to get there now. Has Larry got a pig in his picture? I never noticed. Well, sigh of relief for Spectre Dawn. He's now got control of the table, but he now needs things to fall in place here. He needs the break to be working if he's going to make any inroads into this deficit. He's not got many racks to play with. But he needs to get a ball, and I don't think he has. And what's more, Larry's plumb on this 1 ball, just a little roll through. You've got the 2 into the top right. The biggest problem here is the 3 ball, because the 3 ball goes in past the 5. But you've got to have some sort of angle where you're coming away from the 3 ball to try and get back up that table for the 4, and this is not a given that he's going to be able to do that. Got to get good in the 3. And dead straight in the 3 isn't great. Now, I don't think that's bad. Let's have a look. I don't think he wants to meddle with this 6 ball. Is he trying to come round behind it? He's trying to squeeze behind it, is he? No, he's managed to avoid it. Well, he should be home and dry here in this rack. Well, don't forget, guys, any latecomers who are maybe not keeping themselves up to date on the 8 ball bar table World Championship, we've only got 2 matches left. We have the semi-final match to resolve. That match is set for Sunday, and it's at 1800 hours British summer time. 6 PM, which of course is then 1 PM Eastern Time, and I think that's 10 AM Pacific, and it's the match between Cobra and One Pocket Slim. One Pocket Slim trying to get to another major final, but of course he's already in the mix with two of the players with the best records in these major tournaments. That's Cobra and Albinario, and Albinario sent One Pocket Slim over to meet Cobra, and Albinario is hoping that One Pocket Slim will do him a favour to prevent Cobra having another go at Albinario. So that race to 9 is on Sunday evening at 6 PM, and I'll be there for it. And if you can't join us on the stream, just go to my YouTube channel. It'll be added to the playlist for the 8-Ball Bar Table World Championship, and you can watch it at a later date. You're still typing / before you chat, Hogster. He's at it again. Well, Larry's got another awkward one here in the 3-ball. Doesn't have to do anything with the cue ball other than pot the 3. He's on the 4. Well, I think Slim was what, was he 10-8 in front or something? I'm not 100% certain. But you know, the worst thing that happened was Albinario squared the match. And then, of course, if you're in Slim's corner, that is the worst thing happened. That Albinario broke in the final rack, and of course he ran out. Nothing that Slim could do about that. But that's as close as you're going to get to taking down Albinario. Oh, he won't be doing that. He knows I'll be doing it. So Larry is going to be comfortably through here against Spectre Dawn by 7 racks to 1. And that gives us enough time, I think, to join that One Pocket Slim match. So Larry's looking good. Spectre Dawn, of course, is now going to have the long route of getting there. He's over to the one loss side. Let's just get straight into this match with champion One Pocket Slim, and it's finely balanced at the moment. Chimpy 4-3 up, scratch match. Chimpy's maybe gone to the bathroom. I'll have a quick drink. I wonder, did any of you guys ever play Baja Edge of Control? Did you ever have that in the PS3 or anything like that? I had it years ago. Which is, if anybody for the States will know what I'm talking about, the Baja Peninsula over in California, I think it is. They have an off-road race there every year. It's a multi-class vehicle event. I think there's bikes, there's trucks, 4x4s and all that sort of thing. Big 1,000 horsepower trucks that race on it. There was a game out called Baja Edge of Control. I noticed there was also a Baja game out on the Xbox. I looked at a video of it yesterday. Absolute garbage it looked. It looked horrible. Horrible graphics. Anyway, to cut a long story short, when the game was actually relaunched in the PC, Baja Edge of Control HD, they brought it out, they revamped it and brought it out to PC, and I went back to it yesterday. I was playing it. It's a bloody good little game. You know, it's sort of semi-arcade, but it's actually, I mean, it actually stands the test of time in terms of the frame rate. It runs very good. And I was having another go at it yesterday. I reinstalled it. and it's probably going very cheap. So it is very cheap. Probably get it for a couple of quid. Anyway, another result through. Well, Keyser, he forfeited that match earlier on, so he went to the one-loss side, and he's out now because Charlie Bravo's taking him out in the final rack. And meanwhile, Chimpy with a 4-3 lead, and he's, I think he's got to roll through. Oh dear. Well, he got the roll through part right, but he didn't get the pot, and Slim has been let off the hook. Well, is everybody amped up for this Starfield game when it comes out next month? It comes out in September the 6th. If you've got any interest in it, there is a video on YouTube. There's loads of videos on YouTube, but there's actually a 40-odd minute video. The guy's channel, he's got himself up in the top right-hand corner of the screen, but there's like a 40-odd minute in-game footage of it, but it's also a presentation by the developers who tell you all the things that are in the game. They're giving it the big sell, but like all PC games, my best advice is if you're thinking of getting something like that for 60-70 quid, I would wait a week or two, because then you can see all the feedback that comes onto YouTube about it, about various problems, graphic problems, crashes, bugs, all sorts of stuff like that. But if you look at that video I'm talking about, this 40-odd minute presentation, I mean, what you can do with your spaceship when you're constructing it is amazing. You can construct your own bases, do all of that stuff. It's actually like, very much like, that, you know, that they've looked into No Man's Sky, and there's aspects of it that are very much like No Man's Sky, because I mean you've still got to find various different supplies and materials and stuff. It's a bit like Elite Dangerous, where it's story driven, where you're meeting different characters. You can do lots of side missions to earn credits. You could be a pirate if you want to be, but then you won't get into certain planets once they scan your ship. If you've got contraband on board, they'll not let you land. But you can go down that route if you're trying to make quick money. You can customize your character to the nth degree if you want. And decisions that you make during the game will affect how other characters react to you. So there's loads and loads of information about it. If you've got any thoughts of going down that route, it is not multiplayer, it's just a single player game. But the planets that you do see are far more, I mean the alien animals and everything are far more quality about them than what you'll see in No Man's Sky. No Man's Sky is very much a sort of, it's a bit like a surreal imagery. The colours and that's on the planets are sort of, you wouldn't describe them as realistic. But in this Starfield game, they've gone down the sort of realism look. Yeah, Elite Dangerous is something that's been out for years. The only difference with Elite Dangerous is it's got the whole of the Milky Way galaxy. The big city in the game, what's it called? New Atlantis. That's one of the big cities that they've built, and it is on the planet. You have to travel to Alpha Centauri, which is the for anybody who's any slight interest in astronomy, and I'm quite boring that way. I've got a slight interest in it, although I don't have a telescope or anything like that. But you have to fly, you have to travel there, and it's like 4.5 light years away. It's the nearest star system to our own sun, and it would take you thousands of years to get there if you were travelling in a rocket. But you've got like a, what do you call it they have in Star Trek? You've got a warp drive on your starship, which you can improve, which means that you can travel to different distances if you improve your starship. But that's the game with probably the biggest hype that you'll see in years. So less than a month away it is. So back to matters in hand here. We're 5 apiece. Chimpy at the not Chimpy, Slim at the table, and hoping he gets lucky here. Well, he's got a shot. And another result through. DJ Ruru's taken out Coldest Pillow. Final rat. No, sorry, it wasn't. That was the match above. Slim goes to the bank. He's going to have to bump the 7 here just to hold for the 4. Probably bump the 7. Nope, he's avoided that. You remember those Ultima games that were out years ago? The first time I got a console, I mean, I'm trying to remember whether I won it. I actually might have won the console at work. Not the job I'm doing now, but you know, it'll show you how long ago it was. It was a Sega Master System. I actually won that as a prize at work. I don't know what it was I was selling, but I won a prize for it, and that was what I won, a Sega Master System. State of the art at the time. And it had Alex Kidd in Miracle World. But I think one of the first games I bought for it was Ultima 4, and I thought that was brilliant. It was like a role playing game, and I played that for hours on end, absolutely multitudes of hours, and I thought it was a brilliant game. And you look at it now and you think, good God. I mean, the Master System had no memory in it at all, and the graphics were just crap. And you think of how the game consoles have came on leaps and bounds since then. I've still got it. I've got the Master System in its box with the 2 controllers. And it's still got obviously Alex Kidd, because that was built into it. And that was a tough bloody game, that Alex Kidd in Miracle World. I never got anywhere near finishing that. And I've still got the console. That'll be worth money sometime in the future. And it's all working. Or at least it was when the last time I put it in the box. So I've had that for what, 30 years? It must be 30 years, or getting on for it. And then I had a Sega Mega Drive. I also had the now there's a very underrated console at the time. What do you call it? The Sega. It wasn't the Sega Saturn. What was the other thing? The white console. What the hell was it called? Because it had the internet on it. It was the first console, I think, that had the internet on it. Sega had a great Formula 1 racing game on it. Was it? It wasn't the Sega Saturn. Dreamcast, that's the one. I had one of them. I thought that was a brilliant console. It just didn't get any support from the developers, from the game developers. There was, there was a very small selection of games for it. There was a good F1 game come out for it. I had that. I thought it had a great controller on it. It had very basic internet on it. You could go onto the internet with your 56k modem. And I think it's just a pity that it was doomed to failure. I think that pretty much put Sega out of business at the time. I think that was when they pulled the plug on making consoles. Watch the cue ball. Yeah, I had a Sega Dreamcast. And then I think I didn't have anything for years. And then the last thing that I got was the PlayStation 3, which I've still got, as I say, sitting right in front of me, thick with dust. And I haven't been near it for goodness knows how long, since what you call it, since Gran Turismo got shut down. So here we go. We've gone all the way. 6 apiece. Chimpy breaking for the match. I had a Ferrari racing game as well. I had that on the PS3 though. Obviously, I've still got all those games because they were all on my PlayStation account. Yeah, Ferrari was. Well, I think it might be the same thing. Ferrari 355. Again, on the PlayStation 3, it was a tough bloody game to do. I'm crap at driving games anyway. I'm notoriously bad at driving games. But I think it's extremely unlikely I'll ever get another console. Extremely unlikely. But I'm waiting for the next Steam sale to come so I can get that Race League game and try out the track builder. That's what really interests me about that. Well, Chimpy is going to get over the line here, and now you've got One Pocket Slim and Spectre Dawn over the Nut House. That is the one lost side. So a break and run for Chimpy seals the match there. Right, let's see where we stand now. So we've got Larry through to play Chimpy now, and on the one loss side we've got Charlie Bravo 2-1 up against Miko. We have DG Rudu and Spectre Dawn 1 apiece. Let's get in there. Oh, I've suddenly lost 4 viewers. I'm down to 11. Mind you, I think I maybe need to. I think you've got to keep updating Kit to actually see that your viewers have updated. Let me just tab to check that out and see if it does update. No, it's true. I've lost 4 viewers. Where have they all gone to? Maybe gone for a coffee break and then I'll be back later. So Spectre Dawn is under threat here from DJ Redo. 2-1 in front. I think he's broke dry though. I didn't hear anything go down. Now what about the problems up ahead? Well, the problem is the 4-ball doesn't go anywhere unless you're up top on the 4-ball. So that's the problem. Go back to that game I was talking about earlier on, that game called Baja Edge of Control. When I had that in the PS3, And this shows you the interest that some people have got in games. I could never get a race online because there was never anybody online on it. And when I got it in the PC, same thing. Could never get anybody who had the game and wanted an online race. But I think it's a brilliant little game, especially if you don't want something that's all 100% simulation and all that. But I mean, you can adjust the springs and do all of that crap if you want to. Whereas I just play it straight out the box type of thing. But I'm sure that if anybody's interested in trying something like that out, I'm pretty certain you can get it as a bargain on Steam. It's probably a silly price. And if you've got a couple of quid, I would say try it out. Well, here we go. Spectre Dawn escape with a jump. DG Redo's overcut the 3. Oh, he might get lucky here. But there's enough room to jump the 4. But I don't believe he's going to be jumping this to try and cut the 3. I think it'd be far better kicking this off the long rail and trying to bump it up the table. What game are you talking about, Spectre? You talking about the game I was talking about? Aye, because it is getting harder. I did 2 or 3 races. I did 2 or 3 races in one of the leagues yesterday afternoon, and I've got my car upgraded as much as I can, and I think I won the first 2 races, and then I was like third in the third race, because these are on tracks that I've never really been over. There's loads of tracks on it. I mean, you can actually just go free roam if you want. You know, get in a car and just drive, because the Baja race, if you actually just choose to do the Baja race in full, you obviously choose what type of car you want, because you're racing up against your own class. So you'll find that the big 1,000 horsepower cars are flying past you, but you're not racing against them, you're racing it against the cars in your same class. But if you do a full Baja race, it'll take you more than 3 hours with all the different long stages on it. But as I say, if you get a chance, have a look at that. Have a look at that Xbox version. I didn't know there was an Xbox version of it, but it looks bloody awful. It looks, I mean, the actual driving, when you look at the car driving, it looks terrible. That must have went straight into the bargain basket, that game. The one that's out in the PC, the one I had, that drives very, very nice, very smooth graphics. But there is the odd little game that you can get that is kicking around for a silly price, and that's one of them. If you're like me, where you like to do racing games, but you don't. I mean, I've got F1 23. Do you think I'm going online with that? Absolutely no chance. At the moment, I am on the F2 season, the Formula 2 season, and I think I've got 2 races left on that to complete the season, and then see what happens after that finishes, whether I get maybe offered a contract to go to Formula 1. I don't know what will happen. But the Formula 1 23 is the best of the Formula 1 series I've tried yet, because I only ever race it with a controller, believe it or not, even though I've got the wheel. For some strange reason, I just seem to drive better with a controller. And as I mentioned previously, a few weeks ago, that they've got a set. There's a guy on YouTube did a video as well, and how to set up your controller, and I copied all of that, and it drives very well with the controller, much better than it used to do. What happened? What the hell happened? Where? What are you talking about, Hogger? Let's have a look. Oh, what was that? DJ Radio's got the 5 ball. What the hell's he doing here? Am I out of sync here? This isn't right. I think I'm out of sync. No, I think I'm out of sync. This is looking weird. Yeah, suddenly it's gone out of sync. I think there's all sorts going on in this room at the moment. Yeah, hang on, we'll go back in. Well, I'm not out of sync now, but I don't know what's going on here. Because now I think somebody's disconnected. I think it's DJ Redo. I think that's why it's went funny. Yeah, it's definitely gone weird. Yeah, Spectre Dawn's asking if you're there. It'll probably come. It'll pop up in a minute. I think things are just lagging up because of his connection here. Well, he's saying yes. I think they might have to leave room and don't quit and then rejoin if I didn't get many typos in that. Right, DJ Redo has done the right thing. I think I'll leave the room again and see if the two of them will get in it. I think Spectre Dawn's still in. Maybe DJ Redo is he trying to get back in, or is he maybe doing a quick reboot? I can't see how many's in the room for the chat. The chat's overlaying that actual room. Let me right click. Well, according to that, DJ Redo's back in. Let's try and get back in. Or maybe not get back in now. Oh, yeah, this is not looking good, folks. This is not looking good. My little cue stick hasn't locked up to let you know that you're connecting to the room. We've got the old black screen. And I don't want to kill the game. In fact, that'll give me a wee second here. I can just shut my curtains and put the light on so I can see what I'm doing. Just give me a minute. It's getting a bit dark here now. I now have light, but I don't have connection to the room. Right, if I Alt-Tab, I bet you it goes to a complete black screen. Oh no. Well, that's still not that bad. Right. I'm going to kill the game and be back in a minute, guys. Right, I'm back. Right, well, I'm not going back near that room. Where are we? Friday night 9 ball. That's not what I want. I want the bracket. We'll just stay well out of that. I don't want to go through that again. Right, so let's go into the hot seat match then. So we've got Chimpy 2-1 in front here against Larry. And he's not going to be any good in the two. Difficult to keep this safe because you can only see the edge of the two. That two. That two might go, believe it or not. Although you're probably going to, he's kicking behind. Well, let's have a quick tab to see what's happening in that match. What was happening? Well, according to that, it's 3 apiece now, so it's, is that 3 each, I think? Oh no, it's 3-2 to Spectre Dawn now. Well, we'll see the result coming up anyway, whatever happens. Now that's going to be a 3-8 combo that's going to have to be well made. Well, Chimpy's missed a hit in the two, but there's not an awful lot of room there. I don't know that you can make that combo. I mean, you'd have to be really good in the 3, and even then it has to be a really thin cut in the 3 to try and chip that 8 in. I think that's asking too much. Larry's going to have to try and get a bump here, I think. It doesn't look as if he's playing that though, or is he? Well, Spectre Dawn's going through, he's looking for the bump. And that'll do it. That's worked out very nice. So Spectre Dawn through by 4 racks to 2 against DJ Redo. Oh dear. Oh, I think there's a gap there as well for Chimpy. And there is. Well, he's got to come out the other side of the 7. Oh no, he's caught the 7. Would you believe it? He's caught the 7. I thought that you got a bus through there. And clearly not. Oh, Larry's won a watch here. Now, is he going to try the same thing and duck in behind the 7 here? Yes. Well, this is a bonus for Larry. I'm sure he wasn't expecting to get back to the table. Well, it's going to be shite, Cobra, until they get enough feedback and they've got enough people working on the things to iron these things out. I mean, that's the least of your troubles. I mean, if you prefer, I could instead of streaming to YouTube, well, tell a lie, I can't do that because it just dawned on me that that's where my live streams are stored. I was going to say I could stream to Kick and I could stream to Facebook, and you could look at it on my profile page, but That was back in the day when you had more than 2 channels on Restream. Now they've limited it to 2 unless you have an account and pay them money. Used to be that you could have 3. In fact, I think you could have 4. Well, Blind Hog's telling you where you're going wrong there, Cobra. Well, YouTube's fine if you like being 10 minutes behind the kick channel. Now, 6 ball, quick look at that, doesn't go into the side. Well, obviously from this side it doesn't. So up the table, into the gap. And that was not exactly the best control there from Chimpy. This is really tough now. That's a good shot. Oh, it needs to slow up though. It needs to slow up. Well, that's beyond bedhead territory, this one. This is thin. Oh, he's had a bump and he's going to stay in the table, but is he going to have a shot? Oh, it's another it's another tough one regardless. This is like a stub run out, this. So Chimpy back into the lead. Oh, I'm getting really tired. I think I've hit that sleep wall. I've hit it big time. I might recover in about 20 minutes time. We're in the old brain shutdown mode at the moment. I think the break is dry. Now what's Larry contemplating here? I mean, it's a thin cut in the one. Cue ball's not exactly going in a good direction here to get on this too. He's got to avoid traffic. I'm not convinced that he played the pot there, but maybe he did. In fact, I'm more convinced he played the pot, considering that the cue balls hit that knuckle and come back the way it was trying to get up somewhere near the 4 ball there, that cue ball. And I don't think Chimpy's hit it enough either. And has he got the kick? Yeah, there's enough room. In goes the 2. But again, he's going to have to kick the 3 in as well. Oh, he might be just having enough room to get there. Oh, that was almost a great shot. Oh, they might fluke the 5. He might fluke the 5. Take that every day of the week. Now, don't apologise. All part of the game. Well, Chimpy's going to have daylight between him and Larry. 2-rack lead. Unless he... Oh, I thought he was going to land right on top of that 7 there. He's come out smelling of roses. I'm now down to 9 viewers on Kick. They're all jumping ship. Where's the cue ball going? I think he's okay. So Chimpy trying to take this match away from Larry. Got a ball in the break. I think he's going to be perfect in the 1. Oh no, tell a lie. That 7 ball just decided to mess things up. Well, now he's got a dilemma. Where's he playing the push out to? 6 on YouTube still. Good evening to Rabbi, or Rabbi, or Rabbi. Yeah, Chimpy's looking at where he can push out here, where he's not going to leave Larry some sort of shot. And, I mean, he certainly can't pour it on the side, but I'm pretty certain he can't. I think Larry's trying to convince himself that he can get to the 1 enough. But he can certainly cut it up table. I think he's got to go for it. He should be on the 2. Oh, he's put it to the rail too soon. Put it to the rail far too soon. Well, Chimpy now. Golden opportunity here for a 3-rack lead. Well, I think this is really where you want to just come across the table, into the middle of the table, bump the 8 or run into the 7 or something. That'll work. Rabbi. So it's Rabbi, even though there's no E in it. I look at it as R-A-B-I-H. Rabbi. So it's Rabbi. Well, Larry's going to have work to do if he can get a shot, but he's had a shot, and that miscut there that he had is going to cost him now a 3-rack deficit. And Larry's in danger of heading over to join Slim and Spectre Dawn over on that 1-loss side. This might be dry, and I think Larry can see the 1. Well, he's got to think he's out here. I mean, 1 ball up the table, 2 ball into the bottom right hand corner here is weird looking, 3 ball into that left hand corner, and the only slightly tricky bit is getting out and getting good on the 4, which is right in the middle of the table. The ones that Steve doesn't like. That is not a great shot from Larry. Okay, he can still cut the 3. Problem is he's going to run into the 7, I think. Well, he's avoided the 7. He's going to be in no man's land in the 4, and suddenly has gone pear-shaped. And 1 pocket Slim survives against P. Miko. 4 racks to 2. And Larry's going to have to dig out a shot here. 4 ball was always going to be the problem, but he never get good in the 3 to start with. But that is a good shot. Is he going to have a shot in the 5? No, he isn't. He's going to have to jump. Shouldn't have any problem getting on the 6 though. Oh, this is going to that awkward spot again as well. It's one of them. Well, I had my first couple of games. Well, actually, I think 2 days in a row there, Hogster, where we had a game of doubles. Cowboy in the morning, my time, late at night, your time. It was me and Crosty against Tam and Casino Jim, and me and Crosty beat Jim and Tam 2-0 on the Tuesday, and we beat them 2-0 on the Wednesday. And I think in 3 out of the 4 matches that we played, the 4 racks that we played, in 3 of them we were well behind in all of them. And we come back to pinch them, which was even more annoying for them. And of course I rubbed that in big time. First game of Cowboy I've had in, a good 6 or 7 weeks. I haven't been near the table at all. Well, Larry, can he take full advantage? He's back to within 2. Needs to get the break going. Get himself right back in it. 1 ball's going into the side. 2 ball looks as if it stayed in play. And this, well, he's on the 2. And again, there's an immediate problem because the 3 ball, again, doesn't go past the 8. It doesn't go past the 5. That's too tight. And this is... it looks that Larry's trying to get to the rail here and come in behind the 3. And he's got to watch the side pocket if he gets into that too good. And he's actually played that very well. That was very well controlled. Okay, he's slightly the wrong side of the 3, but I think he'll take that. Because he might go through and bump the 9 here. Just bump the 9 out the way and try and get as good as he can in that 4. Looks as if he's got a nice angle. In fact, he's missing the 9. Trying to keep the momentum going here to get right back in it. Now, I think he wants to put... Well, does he want to try and come over on the left side of this 6? He's got to get the pace right so he doesn't hook himself behind the 9. And I think he's fine. Now, again, he's left himself too close to the rail though. So he might end up playing the 7 long down this table here. He might just come down the rail here with this 7. Because he doesn't want to try and do anything elaborate with this cue ball. He might just go to the rail and go back in the short end of this 7 ball here. Yeah, that was always the simple way of getting there. Now it's a little roll through, past the 9, and don't overhit it. Well, this is just dead weight into the side, or he can let the cue ball run. He's got to have the 9 ball into some sort of pocket. So Larry's mounting the comeback here. Back to within 1. Ball in the break, certainly 1, and another 1 has got in, and another 1. Oh, that 4 has just had a bump on the 2. But Larry's now going to cut the one. He doesn't want to hit that to the wrong side. He'll end up scratching here. He's got to be careful with this shot, because he wants to zip into the cue ball to cut the one and bump the two, but if he catches it the wrong side, he's getting off. If he gets into it too much, he might catch the 4 and leave the 2 there. Well, he did hit it the wrong side, but he hit it thick. And now he's no shot. And he's just going to probably feather it and duck across, try and get behind a 5. He certainly doesn't want to feather it off the rail. And that'll do. That's pretty good. Puts Larry right in the driving seat here in this rack. Inspector Don, the only danger with the jump is that he's got a strong chance of catching that knuckle and missing the 2 altogether. A bit like that. Commentator's eye again, folks. Just cannot hit the, you cannot hide the genius in me. Well, dare I say it, we've got a tied ball game here. Five apiece. Did I say Spectre was shooting? It's that time of night. Don't forget, my brain's gone. It's actually recovering a wee bit here. The yawning stopped. Once I get through that first barrier, I'm usually okay to the end of the night. Now I've said that, I've started yawning again. Well, I think Larry's now come up dry. He's had a good little run to get himself back into it. Thin cutting the 1. Got to find the gap for the 2 though. And that might just do it. It might just do it. Oh dear. I think he's okay. I think he's okay. I think he can get enough of that too. I've now got it down to a T now. My hair trimmer thing that I bought online for a tenner, which is excellent, the rechargeable thing, it plugs in with a mini USB into the PC. It's got an 80-minute battery supply. I now cut my hair, I now shave my head once a week, and it's every Thursday now, and it feels great, so it does. Because it's amazing how much your hair grows in a week, by the way. And it only takes you, what, 10-15 minutes to rip it right into the wood. So I'd advise it to anybody who's paying money to let people cut their hair. Save yourself a fortune. Buy one of those rechargeable all-in-one things and just do your head over the sink. Oh, I can't remember what this is called. I got it on eBay. What's it called? It's called it says professional. I'll tell you that it's a vintage T9, and you can get them in different designs. They've got different designs on the handle. It's a hefty bit of equipment, by the way, and all it comes with, it's got a wee digital display, a wee LED display. It shows you that it's charging, and it shows you how much percentage is left. It lasts for ages in a charge. But saving you a fortune in haircuts, and if you're like me, and you just like to shave it straight into the wood, no messing. You don't need to worry about combs. Get yourself one of them. You're only 10 minutes over the sink and just wash it all away once you're done. And you can also shave yourself with it, trim it down as well. Oh no, you don't need to pay $100 for one of them. This thing's a good thing for a tenner. Which is like what, $12, $13? I hate it when my hair starts growing now. I just get it shaved right down to the wood, as close as it'll go. In fact, up until recently there, before I'd actually eventually get round to buying this, because my other trimmer, it died on me. And the other thing I had was nowhere near as good as this. And I had actually been using, my old electric shaver to trim it down. I've never tried it. And then I was out with the blade, you know, and actually creaming up my head with the shaving foam, not the shaving foam, the shaving gel, and actually shaving my head with the blade, which actually gets it right down to the skin, but it then costs you a fortune in shaving gel and replacing the blades. So the trimmer gets it, this thing gets it right down to like 1mm and less. Oh yeah, I mean, see, once you've actually shaved yourself with a blade as opposed to an electric shaver, it's night and day. It's absolutely night and day. That's as smooth a shave as you'll ever get. Well, there you go. Chimpy has paid to Larry after Larry's comeback. So Chimpy is through to tonight's final. I believe that was a hot seat match. I did say that earlier on, I think. No, no, it wasn't. It was only round 4, so that I'm definitely asleep. Now Chimpy is through to the hot seat match. Now all the business now is happening over on this one loss side, and let's dive straight in to this match with Spectre, Dawn and Slim. Race to 4, of course, on the one loss side, so blink and you'll miss it. Oh, it does get it cue ball slit. Yeah, that's what you want. But if you don't want to use blades, get yourself one of these things I've got. I think this has got like a, you know, it's a metal outer skin handle, and it's got a skull, and it's a gold colour with a black background LED display at the bottom, and the USB is right on the bottom of the thing, and the little on-off button that you press in, and it's got 3 different speeds, 3 different RPMs that you can use. But you see, you get to an age where you don't care what your hair looks like as long as it's short and into the wood. You know, the days of letting my hair grow and going to a barber's to pay them money to cut it are long gone. I'll never be back over the threshold of a barber's anymore. Yeah, I wish I had invested in one of them a lot sooner. And I keep saying, I long for the day where I wake up in the morning and all my hair's lying on the pillow. Then you don't have to worry about anything. Well, once again, Spectre Dawn is under threat here. Slim just got to get into the gap to get clean on the 3 ball. He's loads of room to do that. A little bump to the rail and out. He doesn't want to be stuck in the rail, he wants to get out. That'll do. you're still using forward slash. Every now and again, you can't get out of the habit of doing it because you're so used to doing it in the chat in the game. Well, I think it's a little cut into the side, little tad of right hand English. Don't bump into the 8 if you can help it. And that is not bad. Now, I don't think he wants to be trying to get anywhere on that 7 past the 9. He's looking at the 7 past the 9. What he wants to do is go forward and come in behind the 7. That's a shot. He's got plenty of angle to do that. And he's got loads of room to miss the 7. He just doesn't want to hit it too. He doesn't want to miss the... He had loads of room to miss the 7. And he get too much spin on it. He actually get too much left on it. It went around the angle sharper and bumped the 7. Big mistake from Slim there. And that's a wide open table that was his for the taking. Is he going for the bank? Or is he going for the cut in the side? Either way, he's awkward over this 9 ball. And Spectre Dawn has been given breathing space here. And that's a big fail from Slim. He could have had Spectre Dawn over a barrel there at the point of no return. Where's the cue ball going? Oh, disaster. Absolute disaster. And Slim can't believe it. Well, he's just got to get the spin working, get out. And that might be Spectre Dawn's demise for this week's tournament. It's not over yet though. So 3-1 to Slim. Welcome back to semi-pro. 7 ball in the side. Where's this 1 ball ending up? No man's land, I think. Oh, that's what balls? What went there? The 7 ball. Well, it's a dodgy cut into the side. Going to have a shot in the 2 regardless though. Needs to miss the 3. Oh dear. There you go. And that 4 ball's awkward as well. It's not any... Well, it's still awkward. He's bumped to 4, released it, but it's still no good where it's sitting. And Spectre Dawn back at the table now. He's got a cut in the 2. He's going to catch the point. Might end up coming back this way. Oh no, he's not interested. I think he was far too worried that more than likely it was in and off. Well, when you do mistakes like Slim did with that 7 ball and get away with it, and then play a half decent safety. I mean, this could get kicked in though. Oh, he's missed it. And he's also nudged the 8 onto the 4. So for Slim to win this rack, he's going to have to manufacture something here. I don't believe that, I mean, is he trying to get out into the table to... I mean, even trying to get good on that to play a 4-6 combo, there's no room really for that 6 ball to get. I mean, it will go in if you were just hitting the 6 ball with the cue ball. You can cheat it off the rail, but I think he's got to try and get a bump here on this 4 ball. Or is he trying to play a 3-9 combo? I think that's what he's doing. That's what he's trying to line up. Well, he doesn't want to hit this hard. He wants to leave that 4 ball there. If he misses it, oh, he's actually ran it into the 4. Well, I think, I mean, the first shot's the most difficult here, and the difficult one to follow would be the 6, playing a combo into the 9. So this is not over and out for this rack for Spectre Dawn. He's got work to do, and getting on the 4 balls, the first priority. Oh, this is tough. Still going to have a shot in the 5 as long as he doesn't let the cue ball leak across and scratch. He's got to get the pace in the 4 ball though to actually make the pot. Can't send it to the rail too soon, he'll catch the pocket. And that's went sweet as a nut. So now what does he do? Just bump the 5 in and leave the cue ball roughly where the 5 is and play the 6-9 combo? Or is he convinced he can pot that 6 past the 9? He's not got much room to work with here, so he may well just leave it for the combo. I think that's the best idea here. Just bump the 5 in and come out to about there. Well, he could have been out better than this. So I assume he's playing the combo. Although, yeah, I can't believe he's trying to cut this. I think he's having a look. He's having a look at the line to make this cut on the 9. It was never easy. And that 6 ball keeps rolling. So Slim, well, if he pots the 6, he's got to be on the 8. I don't think there's any way he's not going to have a shot in the 8. So all in this 6 ball. Does he play the bank and stun up, or does he play the cut and run? He's played the cut, but he's left it hanging. And this is tricky as well. I think you've got to go to the rail and you've got to watch you don't miss this completely. He's actually went the other side. And this is not great either. Blind pocket cut. These are tough. And Spectre Dawn's clinging on here by the skin of his teeth. And that's caught the knuckle, and it's all over, folks. Got to be now. Eight balls right in the pocket though, so it's difficult to judge how this cue ball's, you know, what sort of pace it's going to be coming out of here. Now see, if you just dink it and come back into here, you've got the 9 into the side. He's went for the draw and he's into open space and it is all over. So, one of the rare occasions, not often it happens, but Spectre Dawn's gone home early. One pocket Slim has taken him out by 4 racks to 1. So now we have Larry about to play one pocket Slim. We've got Chimpy sitting there in the final. Not the hot seat, that was the hot seat match. What was I talking about earlier on? That was the hot seat match. So Chimpy in the final. What time's that? That's only 25 to 10, so we're going along at a fair lick. And let's get ourselves in the room. We've got Slim on the right hand side, Larry on the left, and Larry is getting last two again, which again is irrelevant. And Larry has won the lag. And he's got a ball. Now, how is he for a shot? He's pretty good. He's pretty good, but he's the wrong side of the one. Because the cue ball wants to get into that corner with the 4 and the 9 ball. So he's got to dig in, get a bump off the side rail here and get out far enough. He's got to get right into this and out, or he won't see the 2 ball. Right, have a guess what I had for breakfast this morning. That's a good shot. Have a guess what I had for my breakfast this morning when I got up. I'm all for variety when I'm having my breakfast. I woke up this morning and I looked in the freezer and I thought, what can I have? What do I fancy this morning? No, I actually had a pizza for my breakfast. I had a pizza because I could just throw it in the oven. It was like 20 minutes in the oven, and I was sitting watching the news. I like to watch the news that time in the morning before I go to work. So while I was watching the news, the pizza was in the oven getting ready. So I had a pizza and a cup of coffee before I came to work this morning. And I'll tell you something, I enjoyed it. I was starving. Oh, now you see, that's the shots that are hard to judge with a trackball mouse. That shot there, because Larry's left it short. Okay, he's again going to end up top side of the 7. In fact, he's actually held it. That was well played. That was a good shot. That's got me wondering. Hoggs, I think, the only player that does this. He comes into kick, he comes into the stream, and then the next thing he does is he dives into the room. Maybe he's in there to see how quick the live stream is. It's very quick. So Larry about to take a shot. I'll start counting when I see it on my end, and then I'll look at the live stream and see how quick it comes up. Just about to hit it. Now, 1, 2. That wasn't even 2 seconds. Well, you'll see the angles, because that's the times I rotate the camera, so I can have a look at them and let you see them. See, that's another reason why I don't see that match that Slim played with Cobra. Albinario. It's really annoying watching somebody play Virtual Pool 4 while they're streaming, because you get all their obvious camera movements. And this is why I like to have this view down the table and then go and check an angle or something occasionally. But watching that match with Slim and Albinario was torture, because I just hate all the flicking about the camera all the time, which is only Slim playing his shots and looking at shots and stuff, but it is horrible to watch. But anyway, the mistake was made by Larry, and we're going to be all square here in a second. It's less than 2 seconds, definitely. It's amazing. So rack number 3, rack number 3, and a ball in the break. Or was it a ball in the break? That's 7 balls hanging. It might be dry. No, it is a ball in the break. What went in the 4? So a gentle little combo. Oh, the 1 ball, though, it wasn't gentle enough. It wasn't gentle enough, Slim. Oh, this has got to be thin. And if he gets the wrong side here. Oh, now that 3 ball just killed it. It just killed it. He still might have had enough room to squeeze the 2 in, but he's certainly not doing that now. I think he's going to have to, is he trying to find a gap between the 5 and 6? Yes, he is. I think he'd have been better playing that with a bit of right English, I think, to go to the rail and try and kick the 2. But Larry's now got ball in hand. It's going to be the 3 ball up into the top left and just come back for the 5 into the side. And even this is going a wee bit awkward. He's going right into the rail a bit too close. He would have liked to have been a wee bit further out. But you see, that's why things go funny. You know, even that perfect example there. Larry just went slightly out of line on that 3 ball where he was inside it too much. And he's caught the knuckle. That's how easy it is to get yourself in trouble. Well, Slim was probably waving bye-bye to that rack there, but that little shot, fallen shot on the 3 ball caused so much damage for Larry there. Cut it to the rail too soon, catches the middle pocket, and it's rack over. So Slim, 2-1 in front, breaking the ball, and look at the 9 ball, and I think it's dry. It is dry. Now what does Larry do here? Does he play the pot in the 1? I think he's obviously going to do that. And he pots the 2 and then gets out to play the combo in the 3. I think that's the plan here. Pot the 1, get on the 2 and get into this gap in the middle of the table. Somewhere like that to play the 3-9. Oh dear, he's missed that by a country mile because he's checked to cue ball so that when it went to the rail it came back that way and didn't bump into the 5. Although bumping into the 5 maybe have not done any harm. But Larry again has got away with this. Well, it's going to be a 1-9 combo if Slim doesn't hit this. Well, he's hit it. Oh, and Slim gets away with it big time. Now Larry, if he's going to hit the 1, let's have a look. Somewhere like that, that's a line. He's going narrower, so if he's going narrow, he's going to have to put left English in this, I think. I think he needs to go higher than that. No, he has gone narrower. Oh, well. The only danger here is the billiard onto the 9. You don't want the cue ball to follow the 9 in. So just a gentle brush. There we go. So slim on the hill. What the hell's happening with Simon? He's in and out of the room like a yo-yo. And Slim's break is dry, and Larry now back against the wall. And this is a little jabby draw shot off that 1 just to control the pace in the cue ball. This is the one where, I mean, you've got to either go forward and just come into this little space here for the 3 in the side, or you've got to come back and leave a tight run in. Oh, he's trying to get up top, and that's not bad. Well, it's not bad from the point of view that he can at least pot the 3, but he's going to have to jab the 3 in to avoid the 4. Yeah. Well, you go forward with a bit of left English. You can stun it right in and drag off the 5. You can do whatever you want here. He's dragged it off the 5. And this is the one where you must stay top side of this 7 ball, somewhere over by the 9 ball. I don't know what the angle is like in the 6, but that's where you want to get to. And he's fine. And now you've just got to jab off the rail, come back that way with the cue ball. Almost following the line. And enough angle to work with just to bump off the rail and high enough in the 9. Well, Larry now breaking to take this match all the way. Needs the ball in the shot, the usual. Well, the 1 tried to go in, but it's dry, and that 6 ball's cleared the pocket. So a little dink on the 1, a bump into the 8 here. I think it's a thinnish cut in the 1. Oh aye, it is. It's thin, but he's still going to catch the 8. No, he's missed the 8. Oh, and he's got a nice bump in the 5. Little jabby draw back off the 2. Again, he's getting to that too much. He's now left himself bolt straight in the 3, where he's going to have to probably try this 4-9 combo here. I mean, dare he try and do anything with this cue ball, because it's dead straight. Yeah, he's trying to dig into it to hold it, to probably... Well, I don't know what he tried, because that's no good. That's right in the middle of no man's land. He's not in any shape to play the combo. He's went for the bank up and down, and now he's sitting pretty, and it's game over. Game, set and match. Now, has he got enough on the 6? I can just spin it a bit if he wants. Miss the 8 ball, of course, is the objective here, and he's fine. So we have our second finalist. Well, this is Slim going for the first of his 2 final attempts this weekend. He's made the final of Friday night 9-ball. The question is can he make the final of the 8-ball bar table World Championships? Now, only Cobra stands between him and a revenge match against Albinario. So we'll get confirmation. We have One Pocket Slim coming through on the one loss side, and heading over to the final with Chimpy. So we've got the Netherlands against the USA, race to 9, and Slim is already in. I'll have a quick drink. In fact, I need to go and get another bottle because I'm running out of water here. So we're just waiting on Chimpy arriving, who's had what? I don't know how long he's had to wait. But we've got Chimpy on the right hand side. It's a scratch match, no handicap. We'll lag off for the break. Slim's looks reasonably good. Chimpy's might be slightly better though, is it? No, it's just gone past. So Slim to break off. And 3 balls thinking about it. Gets a bump off the 7. 3 balls going in. He's sitting good in the 1. 2 balls up there. 4 balls in the middle of the table. Might just have to be a long 4 ball and a roll through into the 7-8 gap for the 5. But it should be 1-0 right off the bat here for Slim. Just got to get back off that 6 ball onto the 7 and loads of room to do it. Well, this will be the perfect start for One Pocket Slim. And right, slightly the wrong side of this 8 ball. No, he's actually okay. He's fine. He's actually perfect. He's going forward to the rail and back across. Oh, he's got too much spin on it. And that's what you don't want to do. Too much right hand spin. And that is an umpty shot, that one, Slim. Big sell out there. And Blind Hog just put the mockers on Slim there, saying that Slim Jim on fire. Ah, well, he just snuffed himself out right there with that shot in the 9. That's a perfect start for Slim that ended up being a disaster. Right, I'm just going to be back in a minute, guys. I'm going for my bottle. Now, what did I miss? Well, it looks as if we've got Slim trying to redeem himself for that first rack numptiness. Welcome to Tyler A. Now, the only thing he'll do here is hook himself behind the 9. But he could go 2 rails here, I think. No, he's just leaving himself the slightly higher cut in the 8, which is not a problem because the cue ball's doing its natural thing here. Just come high enough into the middle of the table. And he has redeemed himself. He can forget about the first rack. Now, just a reminder to those of you who are watching on YouTube, in case you don't know, I now no longer stream to Twitch for the time being anyway, as long as Kick is up and running. I'm now streaming to the Kick channel, and if you want to watch the match as close to live as possible, that's where you'll see it, because there is approximately about 1 3/4 second delay between what I see on my screen into what you will see on the live stream on Kick. So if you fancy giving Kick a try, just go to Google, type in Kick, K-I-C-K, and that should come to the top of your search engine. And then when you get into Kick, if you just type in 9ball.com, that will find my channel. And then I think you have to register if you want to chat, something like that. But it'd be well worth you giving it a try if you want to see it without as big a delay as you have on YouTube, because YouTube is about 5 or 6 seconds normally. Meanwhile, Slim trying to build on his second rack recovery, and he's looking good to go into the lead. Oh, 7ball had a look in the pocket and gave up. And it's dry, and straight away though, Larry can pot the 1. He's just going to dink through, because I think the 2 squeezes past. Well, he might be coming back for the 2 into the other corner of the look of loads of room to go on the 4. 5 more than likely is going to be long into the... Oh, sorry, I forgot with the 3. Well, he said a bump in the 5 and 9. And he's now hooked on the 3. Am I? I was muted. I think I switched it off to go and get my bottle. I'm back now. You should be hearing me loud and clear. So Slim's got himself into a 3-1 lead. Now this, again, where he is in the 2, it's fine to stun the 2 and get on the 3. He's making sure he's coming below it, so he's going to come behind the 4 as well here, I think. Now, can he play this 3 and avoid the 4? Yes, he can. He looks as if he's just gone through. No, he is coming back. And now that he's inside the 4, it's just going to be maybe stop it and leave the 5 into the corner. Yep. And this is one of these wee tricky ones. Got to make sure you're overcutting this to the far jaw. You don't want to mess with the near jaw like that. And Chimpy survives again. Wasn't good on that 6 ball there, Slim. Left it awkward. Oh, this might be ugly. This might be horrible. And that's the worst place you could end up. Well, the one thing you got to do here, it's all out for the pot, but you've got to make sure that you've got a wee bit of action in the cue ball, that you don't come back across and scratch. That's the one thing you have to do. He's hitting this plain ball, and he's stunned it hard enough to affect the line of the cue ball there, so he wasn't going near the pocket. So Chimpy get out of jail there. He was staring at 3-1 down. Well, the only worst place you could have put it's in the hole. That's the only worst place you could end up. I think that one's dry. Oh, look at this table. Well, if Slim, I mean the 3 ball goes past the 9, if Slim gets a 1 and gets good in the 2, he should be out here. And getting good in the 2 is not necessarily 100% guaranteed, it's just a bit fiddly. And that isn't good. That is not where you want to be sitting. I mean, okay, he's got a pot, but it's not exactly perfect. And the cue ball's leaking behind the 9. Oh dear. That's what happens when you're not in control of the cue ball. When you're not getting yourself into that spot, you end up letting the cue ball go into awkward spots like this. And that's a table that Slim could have been out, but he had to get the tricky part done straight away, and he's got away with one as well. Chimpy might go all out here for the bank. He could double bank this, the way this 3 ball's sitting. I'm just going to mute myself again to blow my nose. Now, good evening to Todd Hoffenberger. You a Virtual Pool 4 player under a different name? Because I don't recall seeing that name before. Or if I have done, my memory's that bad I probably didn't remember anyway. That's a good shot. Needs to miss the 9. That's a good shot by Chimpy. Well, oh, is it Interchange X? Well, good evening. Well, got to stay above the 6 ball here. Maybe not quite as above as that, but it'll do. Well, that's a German surname if ever I've seen one, isn't it? Hoffenberg. That's got to be of German ancestry. Well, this is perfect to just brush down on top of this 8 ball. And this might be going all the way, folks, this match. Buckle yourself up here for the long haul. It's 3 hours and 10 minutes into tonight's tournament. And we could be going the full distance. Back to 3 apiece. Well, Chimpy's brakes came up dry, and there's the immediate problem of the 2 and the 9 ball. Now, there is a possibility, well, I was saying there was a possibility, there's a possibility of the billiard onto the 9 here. I don't know that he's playing it. Yes, he is playing it. Well done. Catch the 2 ball first, and then most of the cue ball catches what there is in that 9 ball, and the line was pretty good into the pocket. Oh, that cue ball just died there. You see the way that cue ball died? And he's got a ball in the break, and he's perfect in the 1, and the 2 ball's very handy, and the 3 ball goes past the 4. So the biggest problem with this visit here is from the 4 to the 6, and then from the 6 to the 7. That's the 2 problems that Slim's going to have to negotiate here. And he's not great in the 2 either. But he's found a spot in the 3. That was well controlled. So the big test is coming up here. Right now, the other question to ask you, Larry, is if you're 3/4 German, what's the other quarter? Cue ball. Well, it's bedhead cut time. And don't hook yourself behind the 9. Now, what he wants to do is make sure he's going left or right. And he's gone left. And he's going to have a nice angle on this 7. No way he can't be on the 8, as long as he doesn't go below it. And he's made sure of that. Now let's have a look at what the angle is. Right, well, you're coming up the left hand side, so you just want to come to the side pocket and not scratch. Well, I don't think there's many Americans where they're not either Scottish, Irish, German, Russian, a lot of Russian, there definitely is a lot of Russian blood over in the States. Polish, I mean, a lot of people that were escaping Nazi Germany in the time headed over to the States. There's every sort of nationality that jumped ship at New York back in the day. Well, Slim's messing with these pockets. Trying to mess with another one. Oh, now he's done it again. He's not getting into the cue ball, and it's one of these fiddly ones again. Bad jaw. And this time he's got it sweet. Wrong side of the 8 though. Wrong side of the 8 because you've got to do a lot more with the cue ball. But now Slim is opening up a gap, and the gap now goes to 3. So it's just threatening to run away here from Chimpy unless he can. Now there's those 3 balls in that pattern again. You've got the 2 stuck together and the 5 on its own, and the 6 doesn't go as far as I can see, although it will go into this side pocket if you get below it. And meanwhile Slim's missed a 1, so it looks as if Chimpy's going to have the problem to deal with here. Now again, one obvious thing is if you finish this side of the 5 you can bump the 9 and the 6. Problem is, well, wait a minute here, hang on a minute, look at this, look at this, look at what Chimpy's up to here. He's missed a 1, fluked to 7. But he's got trouble ahead. But now that the 7 ball's out the way, and where if he gets nice on the 4 he can play the shot I'm talking about. And he's got a good angle on the 3, just to stun across and not scratch in the side pocket. But he should be able to leave himself high enough on this 5 ball where he's getting a bump. Now he'd be extremely unlucky where he doesn't leave this 6 ball in play to play it into that top right hand corner. I mean, things can always go funny, but it seems like the most obvious shot to play just to free up the 6. Now, the 6 and 9, I mean that 6 may well go in. It might even go in. It looks pretty good the way it's sitting. And in goes the 6 and he's sitting plumb in the 9. Where was the problem? Well, sigh of relief for Chimpy. Oh, here we go. Here's Stub in the building. Get ready. Chimpy 2 behind with the break. He's typing out his crap right now. Didn't hear anything go there. Now does Slim go all out for the cut onto the 2? Because again the danger with this shot is the 1 could end up behind the 9 and the cue ball down here by the 3. And somewhere like that where he doesn't have a shot on the 1 ball. We're just looking for the safety. And that'll do. And the 8 ball's in the way of the line that you'd want to take to get to that 1. But if you play up past the 8, you'd have to put right English in the cue ball, and that's really, really difficult to judge. It looks as if he's jumping the 8. Oh, that's a cracking effort. Mr. Universe is here. Ask Spec what happened yesterday. Full smoke, 12-0, 13-0 in 20 minutes. It's just a pity that Stub can't be consistent enough to string wins in these big tournaments until the major part of the tournament, that is. Nice little jump by Slim. And I think he can see the 3. He certainly can. Now, can he get out of that gap? I don't know. Let's have a look. I think it's too high an angle. He might be able to get in the gap here between the 6 and 7 looking at it. Oh no, he's bumped it. But he's still got a cut in the 4, but the cue ball's all over the place. Well, we've heard it all before, haven't we? There's never anything new coming from Stubb. Now, how tight is that 5 ball? Well, it's not tight. You got a bus through the gap there. That's plenty of room. Now, is he going to stay good in the 6? That'll almost do. He's gone to that funny spot again, folks. He's gone to that funny spot. Cue ball's leaking away. Now he's good. Well, Slim trying to build the momentum for the rest of the weekend here. Back to 3 racks in front. But it'll be back to the bar table for Slim on Sunday, or early Sunday evening, or late afternoon, however you want to describe, 6 PM. I call that early evening. But that's where you should be, folks, depending on your time zone, obviously. It'll be 1 PM Eastern. We've got the semi-final match with Cobra and One Pocket Slim, race to 9 to see who plays Albinario in the final. Push out played. Well, it could be a 2-6 combo into the side. It looks more like it will be because the angle in the cue ball wants to come up past the 7 anyway, so just a little. Now let's have a look here. That's fine. It's pretty straight, so just a little draw off the cube, the 2 ball to hold the 2. The 2 hasn't gone in. You just got to take the rail. Oh, he's hit the ball clean. I thought he was maybe going to take a bit of the rail there. Make sure that the cue ball was coming out. She's gone a bit straight in this 3. And this 4 ball is tight past the 5, I think. And the 5 ball, when it's sitting there, is just a hindrance. It just catches your eye. You know it's there. And he's got it past without any problem. Now, how tight is that 9 ball? Well, it's not frozen. But again, you want to be getting good on it. You don't want to be leaving much of a cut on it if you can help it. And he's the wrong side of this 8 ball. Got to work the cue ball a wee bit here. And this is not what you want to be playing. It is off the rail, but you don't want to catch any of that rail. So the connection has to be clean. You see, that's what happens. He's had a jab at that. And that's why you had to get good on that 9. And Slim's. Oh, hang on a minute here. Oh, I thought that was going to bump that in. Well, he comes into when he's aware that there's something on, he'll eventually show most of the time. He just goes through his usual routine and then he disappears. Because he knows nobody's paying any attention to him anyway. So Chimpy, 2 behind again. Running out of racks, 3 balls into the side. Oh, that 1 ball's got a nice bump off the 4. And this is just about controlling the pace on the cut here. This is, I think I'd want to cut this in with a bit of English to check the cue ball and just judge the pace. It's tricky to judge this. And that's taking life in your own hands here, hoping you come out with a lucky roll here. And he hasn't. But maybe it was too thin a cut to actually try and hold that cue ball any better, but it certainly could have finished better than this. So the bank on at the side, double bank on, it goes in. You can see the 4 around the table and out for the 5. That seems like the order of the day, unless you can cut this, miss the 8. I'd be going wide of the mark here to make sure I get right out. And he's doing that as well. The only thing you've got to watch is a scratch. Nothing to do with the cue ball other than just drag it and kill it off this 5. Just like that. So now the 7 ball doesn't go past the 8, so you've got to get below it where we are to have a shot in any of those top pockets or the side. Well, he's come to no man's land. That's not where he wanted to be. It still cuts clearly, and he should be coming around onto this 8. The question is he going to avoid hitting the 8? That's the one question. And he's taken evasive action here to avoid that, and he's overcut it. So again, it's gone pear-shaped because of the shape that he's getting there. Got himself out of line. The bank's on for slim. Oh, and the cue ball's bumped to 8 and scratched. Would you believe it? Would you believe it? It's amazing what happens. You think you're home and dry there, and then you get a rub like that. And suddenly, Chimpy's breathing down Slim's neck here, 1 behind with a break. So the tournament's been on for just short of 3.5 hours, which again for a full field is not bad going. It's certainly longer than last week. Last week's was 3 hours, but I think we were, what, 2 players short last week. Well, he hasn't got cover, but he certainly left nothing on. I mean, there's a 1-5 combo if you fancy that. But you can cut that 3 into the gap between the 3 and 5 and duck up table here. You can go that way, send that 1 that way, take the cue ball maybe that way, or maybe if you get it thinner, go that way up the table. Let's see what he's thinking. Well, he's trying to be clever, and he's played it clever, and that's well done. That was a touchy shot. Oh, the cue ball's gone again. Slim got the hit in case. Cue ball just wants to find a pocket for Slim these last couple of shots. And then, you know, even though you're still in front, you then begin to think, is this going to be my night? I mean, am I going to win another rack the way this is going? And yet you're still a rack in front at the moment. Right, we're agreed the 6 ball doesn't go past the 7, so you don't want to be playing for the 6 ball that way, obviously. You want to be getting right side of the 6 or at worst up above it, so you can play it somewhere down table towards us. Now, how does that look? Well, that's fine to come off the rail and out for the 6 into that corner. Shouldn't be any problem doing that. He looks as if he's coming back the way. Well, he's going to play it past the 7. We'll soon find out if this is a wise move, because I wouldn't be doing this. When he's played it sweet as a nut, there wasn't much room, and he got himself as good as you could ever get on it. And it's Chimpy that's got himself rolling now. And as long as he doesn't do anything crazy here, we'll be all square. Oh, the yawning started big time now. It's head on the pillow and straight to sleep as soon as this is over, folks. Well, we've still got 8 viewers left on Kick, so there's at least some of you wanted to see the final. And meanwhile, Chimpy has got a couple of balls in the break, one in the 5 balls gone, but nothing on the 2. Now, you would think you'd have to stay this end of the table to play the push out. You don't want to head anywhere up table. Well, I think you'll find he'll be put straight back in here. I think Slim won't have any of this. Yeah. Well, good evening to Bedhead. He's finally arrived. We're right in the middle of the final. And that's a pretty good safety. I would settle for that, because this is awkward, hampered by the 9 ball. It's awkward with the 2 ball being fairly tight to the rail. He's just trying to brush the edge and come up, but he hasn't hit it hard enough. And the pot is on for Chimpy, and he could be taking the lead here. Now, this is a bit fiddly, because that 3 ball is past the pocket. Yeah, that was never cutting in. Oh, Chimpy's, I think, left the 3 ball. Oh, has he? I don't think he has now that I look at it. Slim's going to have to jump over the edge of this 8. And the other problem he has is, well, he's got a couple. Keeping the cue ball on the table is one problem. The other problem is getting enough momentum off the rail and out for the 4 with this jump stick. This is not a guarantee. Well, he's got the first part, and the second part has worked out beautiful. Got the cue ball rolling around the angles, and it's his rack to lose now. He could be on the hill in a minute. How is he? He's got a slight angle, so he'll want to come in behind that 8-ball, I would think. Or is he trying to come back clean off this 6? This is, I think it's a bit of an optical illusion, this shot. I mean, the way I see this, I'd want to go to the rail and come out behind the 8. Now you see, he's getting to it far too much again. That's absolutely nowhere. He's getting to it far too much. The angle he had, you want to hit that just with a bit of a firm stun to go to the rail and maybe a wee bit of help and spin to get it out, but he juiced it up too much again. But what a recovery shot. I mean, he's going to have to play another one in a second. It's just what happens when you start getting yourself out of line. It's usually very difficult to try and recover. Now he's having to try and bail out with a bank. Oh, this might end up not too bad. I think Slim will think he's got away with one there. And now this 8-ball sitting good for a bank though. I mean, this is pretty much odds on in every day of the week as long as you get the right pace in it. Has to be the right pace. You don't slam that. That's perfect. As soon as you hit it, that's perfect. But it's Chimpy that's going to get to the hill first. I did say earlier that this could go all the way, and that's still very possible. But Chimpy's going to get first shout if he can get a ball and a shot here, breaking for the match. And Chimpy won one of these a couple of weeks ago, I think. Pretty certain he did. But I think this is also dry. But it's a bit more of an ugly table. Now we can see the one isn't a problem, it goes. But he's going to have to, and I don't know that he's came far enough. I don't think he's cut. Now I think he could. Oh, it's too tight, and I think if you played it too soft, you're bound to catch the 6 to try and tweak that cue ball slightly. I don't think he's got enough room. He's trying it, I think, and he's just trying to bump it around. Doesn't want it to go in like that. Well, at least he can see the 3, I think. Yes, he can. In fact, that 3 cuts up the table. But this is almost like a typical stub run-out attempt. Because he was immediately out of line, and I think, again, he's come out smelling of roses here. This doesn't look a good bank to me, this 3-ball. But it looks not a bad bank now, I think. But look at where the 4-ball is. How do you get anywhere near the 4-ball playing the bank? And the answer is no. And now the 9-ball's on top of the 4, so that changes things altogether. Oh, hang on. Did that 4-ball go past? No, it didn't. It would have had to have been a 4-5 combo, so tables now suddenly get very ugly. I know what I'd be doing here. I'd be cutting that 3-ball to the left and up behind the 5 and ducking back down the table. But Chimpy ain't interested. He's going all out for blood. But didn't get the lucky roll that he needed. I would have ducked for cover there every day. I wouldn't even have contemplated potting that. Well, this is where you go thin edge on the right side, as thin as you can, with a wee bit of left in the cue ball. If you get the right connection, you can use the 7 and 9 here. It's a tricky shot to judge right. But that's what he's tried. That's what he's tried. And that is not a bad effort, because this is tough to get the right connection at this distance. That's a good shot by Slim. Commentator's eye. Although he didn't get behind the 7 and 9, he's left it pretty damn awkward as he could. Well, Slim can have another go. Just doesn't want to scratch. He wants to get the cue ball as far as he can in this left side. I don't think he's hit the 4. Did he hit the 4? I don't think he did. Disaster. Oh, he has hit it. He must have hit it with a... He must have hit that with a cigarette paper. He's hit it so thin. It hasn't moved a millimetre. Oh, that's not a bad result. Well, this is an easy kick. The question is can you double bank? Can you bank that 9 if you slam the 4? Oh, I don't think I'd be giving this an almighty slam here. It's just straight up, that 9 ball. And what's more, Chimpy's got the 4 ball. And he should be out. That'll be Slim's last shot of the night, I would think. Well, he's got to get himself nice on the 7. Now, if he wants to play the 7 into that left side pocket, then he has to get the right angle on it that's good enough to get good on this 8 ball. So he has to be thinking of that straight away here. We'll soon tell you whether he has got it. Well, if he rolls forward, the cue ball's heading to a sort of, not a shallow angle, a fairly high angle to 8, unless he rolls through far enough. See how it wants to go to the 8 ball, and he's in no man's land, and that's because he didn't get perfect the 7. It's so simple to get it out of shape. He's going all out for the cut. Now, how's his luck? Well, it ain't bad, but Slim's going for the bank. I have no doubt about that. He's going for the bank. But you've got to get this pace right again. And that is going in all day of the week. Now, how is he in the 9 note? Testy one. This to take it all the way, like I thought it would go all the way. And in it goes. And we have gone all the way. Commentator's eye again. So Slim, breaking for the match. At least I'm not calling him Spectre Dawn. And he's dry. And, well, I think Slim's got to try and come the bottom side of this 2, and he could have a go at the 2-9 here. I mean, if he wants to, he can try and stay the top side, but the 7's maybe interfering with that. Well, he is the top side, and he's come out clean, and he's going to have to just brush off the 8. Or, in fact, he might even be, I think he's okay to avoid it. He maybe just catch an edge of it, but he should be fine. Yeah, he's fine. Well, this is a table that you put money on Slim running this 99 times out of 100. Now I think he's gone straight on this 4 ball. No, he's got an angle, but he's got to hit this firm enough to get up the table. I mean, he's not going to try and get into a gap or anything. I mean, he's got enough angle to stun this in and boost this cue ball up the table. No, maybe he didn't. Maybe he didn't. Well, this ain't good. I mean, he's going to be on the 6 ball, but he's got to judge the pace that he doesn't go too far and square in this 6 ball. And the 5's gone in, and he's perfect. And it is all over, folks. So thanks to everybody for joining us. Thanks for your company. To those who joined us on Kick, as well as those who stuck with YouTube. But it's One Pocket Slim who's got the momentum for his big semi-final match on Sunday with Cobra. Chimpy, sorry. I'm falling asleep, guys. Apologies. I'm falling asleep. Well done to Chimpy, unlucky Slim. I need to get to bed. I take it all back. Well, it's still a good result for Slim anyway. He's done well getting to the final, but I'm sure you won a couple of weeks ago, Chimpy. Is that not another one? I'm sure you did. In between Spectre Dawn winning it. Oh dear. Right, well, we'll get confirmation in black and white or whatever the colour it is. Chimpy wins Friday night 9 ball. I can't see how much he won. He won 785 V dollars, and Slim gets 390, and the payments go back to what, 6th place or something like that. Yes, it does. So those in 6 come out. Well, the tournament cost them 10 V dollars or 5 V dollars. They come out with 145, 195 for 4th, and 260 for 3rd place. So I'm off to bed. You can tell I need to go to bed, guys. Thanks for watching. Hope to see you on Sunday, and if not, you can watch it on YouTube. Well done to Chimpy, well done to Slim, and I will bid you all a good night. Now I wonder if this will work. Hang on a minute, I don't know whether the copy and paste will still work. No, it won't. Anyway, take care. See you soon, folks.